Do you have a passion for sport? Then Sports Highlights is a place to be. Share the passion every Sunday and Wednesday, 7 to 9 p.m. Sports from the heart, only on Sports Highlights.
Ground control, come in. It's the space station. We have an unidentified object for review. Over.
Go ahead, space station. Object tracking available.
It seems to be.
Go ahead.
It's,
Go ahead, space station.
Okay, I've made my decision. It's a cricket ball.
What?
6. You dig it. Out of the park and into the sky.
The ICC Men's T20 World Cup.
It's out of this world.
CK Grace and Company is the number one supermarket for 100% Intention Supermarket. We've got more of what you're looking for in multiple locations to serve you more and more. In business now for over 50 years, and you will always say by shopping right here. Oh yes, we're number one. CK Grace and Company, and we are Vincent John, a supermarket for you and me.
Looking for financial support? At the SBG Police Credit Union, PCCU, we offer a range of loans to meet your needs. Whether it's our disaster loan for emergencies, the Just for Dad Father's Day loan, or our carnival loan for the festivities, the PCCU is here for you. Join PCCU today. You don't have to be a police officer to be a member. Walk in and talk to a loans officer with no appointments necessary and enjoy same-day approval. Benefit from low interest rates and flexible repayments. Take the first steps towards your financial goals with PCCU. Visit us at any branch today. Terms and conditions apply. The SBG Police Credit Union, towards a sustainable financial future.
Looking for sporting gear for all sports? Well, there's only one place to shop. ComSport. ComSport supplies gear for cricket, soccer, netball, table and lawn tennis, track and field, and more. ComSport provides brand name soccer shoes, socks, shin guards, balls, slippers, goalkeeper gloves, and many more accessories. Plus uniforms, complete with tops, shorts, socks, and numbers. Also in stock, cricket gear, balls, pads, shoes with spikes, batting gloves, netball shoes, balls, and bibs. And to top it off, ComSport has introduced a new line of trophies for all events. It's located in the Computech building on the second floor, opposite the financial complex on Bay Street, Kingstown. For more information, call 456-2691. That's 456-2691. ComSport.
St. Vincent Containers proudly introduces its high-quality bathroom tissue. Furtis, Lilies, Midushi. Manufactured to conform to local, CARICOM, and international standards. Tested and certified by the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Bureau of Standards. No roll less than 300 sheets. Legitimate sheet and core sizes. Virgin pulp, no recycled. Soft but not lightweight. Professionally produced and packaged. Now available throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Furtis, Lilies, Midushi. Excellent Vincentian products.
It's back. Yes, the Instacash game Bingo is back. You asked for it, and the NLE is giving it to you. Bingo, where there's a chance to win up to $6,000. There's also the new Instacash game Hot Numbers, with 5 chances where you can win up to $8,000. Get your Bingo and Hot Numbers Instacash games at all Lotto agents. Instacash, where there's no waiting in line. You can win on the spot. Instacash, so easy to play.
The public is asked to note that chiropractor Dr. Edmund Seeley is now conducting clinic and will see patients by appointments only. To make an appointment, call 456-9318 or 531-5318.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It's sports highlights time, and I trust that you had a good day today. a nice day and a most wonderful day, and lots of sports hanging around and activities going on at this moment. And today we had another outage, an island-wide outage, which is not good. Happening too often, and let's hope that these would we see something different. I'm going to just start with some other sports. I'll start with car racing, first of all, and then we'll get into all our other sports when my contributors come up. And we start with horse racing anyway. Then the Sarasota Springs, the Belmont Stakes. I looked at that race. The Dornoch won the Belmont Stakes. That's a horse that most people didn't expect to win, but they won. The horse won it, and making it a 6th consecutive year of different horse winning each of the 3 Triple Crown in horse racing there in America. The Kentucky Derby is another popular horse racing event. In car racing, Elhart and the Elhart Late Wisdom, 2-time reigning Indianapolis 500 winner Joseph Newgarden had one of the biggest crashes of his NTT IndyCar Series career during Saturday's Firestone Fast 6 qualifying in the road at Road America. It came on the final lap of the 6 driver battle to determine the pole position for Sunday's XPL Grand Prix of Road America. Newgarden was running full throttle, attempting to win the pole. At an estimated speed of 180 miles per hour, his car hit a slick part of the track and in turn 2 and flew off course, slamming hard into the safer barrier. The collision sent Newgarden's number 2 Chevrolet into the air before coming to an abrupt stop. Newgarden told NBC Sports Sunday morning before the Indy warm-up that he sustained 95 G-forces from the impact. In Formula One racing, Max Verstappen won a dramatic race, winning the gripping event on a wet-dry surface in the Canadian Grand Prix on today. That happened today. It is the 6th win in 9 races this year. The second was London Norris, and third George Russell, and fourth Lewis Hamilton came fourth. And you all should know that Lewis Hamilton has Grenadian roots, and also that he should be whatever I'm not saying that he should be, but he had suffered many prejudice remarks at him many times, but he has overcome and he's stayed with that. Lewis Hamilton is one of the favorite drivers in Grand Prix Formula One. You listen to Nice Radio Sports Highlights. I'm Dougie DeFreitas, and we hoping to discuss a lot of things tonight. I haven't seen anyone on the live as yet, but we know today in football. Well, let me give you some local information. In netball on Saturday night, the scores for the games of Saturday night games: Police Youth Club Blazers. Police Youth Club Blazers had 32 points, and Blaze Strikers 18. Sign Hill 2 had 40 points and All Stars 33. Sign Hill 1 had 45 and Bagger United 37. We don't have any results yet for today. That was yesterday. We move to some of the football. Today, Sharps football is playing their finals. The Sharp Football League is playing their finals. They played it today, so we are waiting the results of that. Probably wouldn't get that until later on down the road. We got we see we have Patrick on with us already. Good evening, Patrick. How are you?
Good, sir. Good, good. And how are you?
I am nice, great, and wonderful. We go through a lot of battles today. I had to reset all my computers, confusion. You know, the- when we have island-wide outage and then we don't have internet,
Yeah.
it becomes problematic for us because part of the whole of Leeward for us is connected via the internet because we have a lot of interference from surrounding stations. We have St. Lucia in the north, Grenada in the south.
Okay.
And we used to be able to go into Layu Hill with just maybe 30 watts from the
Yeah.
station. Now, even if we put 250 watts, we go in there with noise.
Is that right?
Yeah, so we changed the format in which we go in there,
Right.
and we go in via internet. So when we lose internet at the station, it knocks out the whole of the leeward.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not good.
No, man, it's hard. And then you know we're looking at the at and there are a lot of things that are just basically wrong with radio frequencies, but
Yeah.
it's a kind of clustered situation.
Let me ask you this. Is Moncton St. Vincent, how does that affect that?
Well, it affects it in this way. I have transmitters, like a few of us have transmitters, like myself and SVG TVs, which is Magic 107. Both of us have similar way of transmitting that we surround the country with transmitters. A few of the stations, like Hot and Boom and Extreme, they are up at St. Andrew's Mountain.
Right. Right.
One of the reasons why I never chose to go up there is the accessibility if you have a storm. If you have a major damage, the road is very treacherous. A guy from Sony Ericsson who worked with Cable and Wireless lost his life up there. I think one other person did.
Yeah, but roads you could cut and make though, can't you?
No, there's a road, you can drive it, but
Right,
you have
right.
to maintain the road in a particular way. You have to make
Yeah,
sure there's no
of
moss
course.
in the road because if Patrick, if you go there, you'll be scared out your wits to drive on the road
Yeah, yeah,
because it is very extremely steep. You
yeah.
have to have an extremely good working vehicle, 4-wheel drive, to do that
To do that, yeah, yeah,
because you only could drive up in first and okay, the corners are very. You have to reverse in the corners. You
yeah,
have few little retaining wall that if you slid, you could go into the wall and you have to reverse. It's a treacherous situation,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
I know the Leeward side too, going down Chateau and those
no,
places.
you ain't talking nothing. That's
That's
piece of
nothing,
cake.
right?
That's piece of cake.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
telling you, how steep this thing is. Look like if you going, it's a really. So
Yeah,
I chose not to go that route
yeah.
because but it's more costly for us because we have to pay for more transmission sites.
Right, right, right,
But you use instead of using a very large transmitter, you use smaller ones.
right.
So fill the holes and so forth. So we have 6 transmitters around here,
Yeah.
so it's a little bit rough,
Yeah,
and we didn't have electricity. As I said, it's the second time we had blackout, and then
right.
when that happens, the internet is not working. I have a mobile modem, which we use for outside broadcasting,
Mm,
and what has happened is that that wasn't working. I was getting only 1.5 meg down and zero point 0.9 up. and I need at least five megs up and down. Normally, that modem would give me 12 megs up and down.
Uh-huh.
And when electricity goes here and a normal electricity outage, and internet goes, we will use that, put some data in it and use it. We couldn't use that today. So internet radio was off for a while, and it's frustrating, frustrating.
Yeah, well, so you manage your frustration, But
Yeah,
when
and
you hear now, you make the best of it when it comes up. But I
yeah,
really would think that being so mountainous, so many mountains, you have the highest, around a lot of islands compared to Barbados and some of the other islands. You got high points. You could put those
yeah, you can do that, but it's just to get to where
you
we
get
are.
there, huh?
Yeah, we're on high points. All our transmitters at high points, but not the highest point. Monk St Andrew, as you know, is pretty high. So few stations use that. But if you have a problem, you will have a problem,
You'll
and
have
you
a
could have a
problem.
problem for a while. So
Yeah.
at least if half the country is off, the half is still on with me. So
Yeah.
if I lose a windward side because of electricity or one thing, the leeward is and vice versa.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Too bad. You don't want to lose anybody, though,
No. I was just going to, before you check in, I was just going to mention about your book, and I
Yes.
can't remember the name of the book, Patrick.
What I tell you this time around, yeah, it's called the Black Pioneers
The
of
Black
the North,
Pioneers.
Black Pioneers of the North American Soccer League.
Black Pioneers of the
Black
North
Pioneers.
American.
I'll just say a little bit about what it's about.
Yeah.
The North American Soccer League is really the first national outdoor professional league in the U.S. that was recognized by FIFA as a national league. And that gave birth to what's happening now, MLS. Because the NASL went from 1968 to 1984. And of course, you remember when Pele came, right?
Right, yes, I remember that.
Pele came, and then after Pele came, all the other stars
Like
came.
Beckenbauer and
All of them. Carlos Alberto, Johan Niskins,
yeah.
Johan Cruyff, they all came. And it was an explosion. And when Pele left, he told FIFA the next bastion for football, soccer, is the United States. The year the United States got the 1994 World Cup, the first World Cup, Brazil was also bidding for that World Cup. Pele encouraged them, and this is the kind of character that he is, because he really loved the sport. Pele encouraged them to give it to the U.S. in 1994. The Brazilians killed him for that. But it was about expanding the game. It's all about expanding the game. So they got it in 1994. It was very successful. Pele told them that it will be, and they took a lot of money from the 1994 World Cup, and they started Major League Soccer in 1996. And now Major League Soccer is up to almost 30 teams, close to
And a lot of Brazilians playing in it too.
a lot of Brazilians, a lot of Central Americans, a lot of South
Yeah.
Americans, Well, Messi is here, and he brought 2 or 3 of his friends with him, and so forth. But here's the parallel. So here's the parallel, Dougie, with cricket. So going to segue into cricket. If the ICC used the US model, right, with cricket would spread here just the same way football spread. We're not talking Test cricket now. We're talking the games that are going on here now, T20 and one day.
We're talking about the shorter version of the
shorter
game.
version. Start there. Let's hook them in. Start there, and eventually Test could play here too. Because in the US, Dougie, you have major holidays that you could use for 1 days. It's like off season. We got July 4th holiday. People come from all over here. We have Memorial Weekend is the end of May, right? We got like Father's Day coming up. Those are major holidays that people are on. We have the big Labor Day weekend when we have the carnival here, and it's a whole week of celebration, and people from the tri-state area, Canada, and all over come. You could have a couple 1 days there, and a Friday and a Sunday, a Friday, Sunday, and a Monday.
So you can integrate them. I have somebody on the line. Let me just take this caller just to see. Good evening, caller.
Good morning to you and Patrick.
Yeah.
Well, it's good afternoon or good night.
Patrick, did you go to the game today?
Yes, no, not today. I was at the game. I was at the game on Friday.
Friday.
Friday. I was at the game on Friday. Now I couldn't afford the game today, but I saw the game.
The game was packed out. Yeah.
Yeah, it was packed. It was a good game. It was a good game. Good game.
I went to yesterday's game.
That was a good game. How'd you like it?
Man, I enjoyed that game, man.
Man,
Yes.
and here now, and I tell what's his name, Alex, to give you a ticket to Monday for me. I ain't joking. You think I'm joking?
Yeah.
Do you think I'm joking, Fox? Ask Alex. If Alex come on, he'll tell you that. So he said he didn't have a number for you, and we didn't have a number. So I gotta take your number because me and the
That's
number.
okay.
Huh?
And Fox,
That's okay. That's okay.
You went already.
Yesterday was Netherlands and South Africa, right?
Great game.
Yeah. It's a good game. But,
yeah. I mean, today I see prices. Was Friday? I see the price varies. Friday it was 1,500. Yesterday I think I saw 1,700, and today I think I see $1,000 early in the morning.
Right.
Vivid.
But
it was I passed through there. It was a lot of people there.
Man, it was packed out 34,000 people.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the big game.
Friday they told me they had 7,500 tickets that was sold when I crossed like after 10.
When Alex and Patrick went there, 19,000. That first game you all went to.
Oh, that's Friday.
No, not Friday here.
Oh.
They went to a game before. Patrick
Before
went
that,
back to the
okay.
game. Alex and Patrick went to one game. And
we saw right. That was last Monday. We saw Sri Lanka
right.
and South Africa.
They had 19,000.
Yeah.
But what am I disappointed is that I could hardly see any black people in there yesterday, man. It's like 99% people are Indian and white.
Yeah, if West Indies were playing, you would see them.
Yeah, well, I think in time, you got to remember too now, the people who control U.S. Cricket Association, they're the Asian people.
Indian.
And they have the coaches and all the
Asians.
All the different Asian countries come together. And that's your building block. That's your base right now. So you have to work with them. Okay? But my thing is, and again, I was making the analogy with how soccer got started. Soccer got started because they brought over the greats when Pele came, and they played the game. But they not only played the game, they went into communities and schools, and they coached the youngsters. And those youngsters, remember John Hawkes, who captained the U.S.? He was a ball boy back in the NASL days, young from New Jersey. So that's what cricket has. Huh?
Go ahead. Sorry. Sorry.
That's what cricket has to do now. Start some games here at the right time. When have clinics. I mean, they're young Asians here. They're young West Indians here. I came here at 14 years old. If I was coming here now and seeing this, I would have continued playing. But I didn't see this. And I also played soccer. So I stuck with soccer, gave me a scholarship. Some high schools, the high schools in Queens, New York, have a league. They introduced it there in high schools. And that's a good place to start as well. So if the West Indians come here, they do clinics, they bring their coaches and they have seminars and they do their thing. And then, have some games with some bring players. The Asian teams will always come, and you got Bermuda, you got Canada, and you got the US, right? And that's where it starts. But you have to do it constantly, because cricket really has been around here a long time, Alex will tell you, Alex captain a US team, West Indies used to come here and play all the time.
I saw a game up there in
Mount Vernon.
Brian Lara and Dujan played in that game.
Right. Well, they used to come every year, but those were like pockets of fellas in the Caribbean community who would bring them here. But now if you do it on a larger scale, you have the West Indies and other teams play at different holiday seasons here throughout the U.S. Still have coaches, have seminars, volunteer to work with the schools like the soccer players did, and it'll happen. It can happen. And it's good for West Indies. I think they should. Now is the best time for them, as I've been saying this for the longest, to approach the ICC to to have some sort of a major role in the governing of the sport here. You know, it's not going to take away anything from the West Indies. I mean, you've got to work with the folks here, and not just for cricketing, but they could learn a lot more of how the Americans do things. The Americans are good marketers. They're good promoters. They got the companies here for medical.
But they got money.
Know?
That's something that we don't have to have the money.
But we have to come where the money is if you want to get it. You can't stand the outside. You know what I'm saying? You can't stay on the outside. You have to be in it. Look how long, what's his name, been suffering from shin splints, McCoy. Was he suffering shin splints and all that kind of stuff? We should have some connection here, medical connection. Lot of professionals come here for treatment. You know, I don't know why we don't come and rub shoulders with the US and be friends with them and learn things. And it only benefit us. It would only benefit us. And that's what we have to do. But that's all throughout the Caribbean. I think we're a little bit too insular. We need to get out, make friends abroad, make connections, and it could only help us. And that's what's happening with the football and the cricket. You know, that's what we have to do. And the other thing too is I'm very glad that Canada and the US are doing well in this tournament.
Yep.
Extremely happy about that.
Yeah, they're doing well.
You know, because it says that there's potential here. It says that there's potential here. I mean, the US knocked off Pakistan. You know.
Yeah.
That's
playing Wednesday. I think they're playing Wednesday too, right? US I think playing Wednesday.
Yeah, and that was the I believe that was the super over game.
Yeah, that's super over.
Super over game.
That's the last game. I think Wednesday's the last game up here.
Wednesday, the 11th, right? Is that next Wednesday?
The 12th. I think the 12th is the last game.
12th, right. So they have to, and when this is all over, it can't just go dead. They have to keep something going, if it's even seasonal. You know, in the summer, I don't know, you could rearrange your schedule. West Indies could rearrange the schedule to come here and play. Labor Day weekend, everybody comes for the carnival. Look, they're going to take in a one-day game. They're taking a one-day game. They come from Boston, Canada, Pennsylvania, D.C., Connecticut, New Jersey, New York, and beyond that. They're coming to see their family. They're coming to you live in some of those other states, you know, boy, you're longing for some pillow, some roti, whatnot, watch some netball. Yes, I'm telling you. So have a nice one. Have 2 one-day games that weekend here, Labor Day weekend. Then you got 4th of July weekend too. That's our Independence weekend. Have some games here. We got all kinds of weekends here that, you know, you guys could.
The stadium in Texas.
Yeah, I don't know much about it, but there is, yeah.
It's a cricket stadium.
Yes, I know.
Used to be a baseball stadium.
Baseball stadium, yeah. And here's the other thing too about facilities. Just look around. You'll always find a minor league baseball stadium that you could maybe buy or turn into a ground. The facilities are here. Everything is here. The raw materials here. They're gonna decide how they're gonna approach this, what they need. Because officially, the U.S. is in charge of developing cricket in the Americas. You know, there are quite a few teams in Argentina has a cricket team. You know, there are quite a few teams there, but they're not here yet. So I think that's
where did you get parking?
Well, I live in the area. I live in the area, so I came in the back way. I parked my car on Merrick Avenue and I walked.
Yeah, but you know where you could have parked too? The East Meadow Shopping Plaza there.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, well, that's on Merrick, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's on Hempstead Turnpike.
Yeah, but you know, you don't want to park in those places because sometimes they watch your car, and if you leave it there all day, you come back and there's a booth on it. You got to call somebody to release your car.
If you leave it there overnight, I don't think.
Right, not even overnight. Not even overnight. Yeah. To make money, there's signs that says, "Oh, customers only." And if you leave your car there all day, because they're watchers. They're watchers. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you got to be careful. Yeah. So I parked on the street.
Over there. I parked over there.
I parked on the street.
$43 to park. Yeah, they park side streets and everything. $43 to park your car by the Coliseum.
By the Coliseum, yeah. No, I didn't do that. And Alex came with some friends who don't know the area, so he had to walk a few miles. But he needs the exercise.
Walking is good, man. Walking is good.
It's good. I'm glad that's the only exercise he has. So he needs to continue to
walk
walk
for a long time, so he got a good walk.
Yeah, you got a good walk. Yeah, but that's the situation.
The last time I saw a test game was at the Annisville playing field when they had the first test match in 1997, in which Brian Lau scored 100.
Okay.
The last time I saw a test match.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're the first Windward Island territory to host a test cricket.
Test cricket, okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, St. Vincent, yeah, and that's when they show some of the praises on Annisvale because of the background of the water and so on, you know. So it was a beautiful
carnival time too. I think it was either June or I believe it was June of that year.
So I think once we maintain that.
Were you there?
No, I wasn't there. Were
you there too? You wasn't there.
No, not me. Not in '97. I wasn't there in '97. But that's what we have to do. Maintenance is our problem. We got to keep it up. We have to keep it up. So that's
all right. I'll come back in later on. All right.
Yeah, man. Yes. Good hearing from you. Good hearing from you.
All right, ready for nice people. Sports highlights 7:32 is the time. Patrick on with me. That was Fox there. Fox beat me to it. I say, Alex, do me a favor, get Fox a ticket for me Monday. He said he went, so that's good. Anyway, let's go back a little bit to football. St. Vincent lost today.
Yeah, they lost 3-1 today.
3-1 today again.
Yeah.
You know,
it pretty much it's gonna be difficult for them to move on from here. It doesn't matter what they do later on, unless and then our goal differential is poor. We scored 2 goals, but we let in 7?
7.
We have a -5.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's going to hurt us too. So our World Cup hopes are pretty much over, and that's sad. You know, it bothers me because years ago I've been telling them they've got to prepare for this World Cup. Everybody's trying because Dougie, this is your best chance to be considered a World Cup team, and it could happen
because it's in the region.
Not only that, but the top 3 teams, yes, and the top
already you don't have to compete with them.
You don't have to compete with Canada, the US, and Mexico. If the team was properly prepared is not playing Guyana and Dominica because that's not really a competition. You have to play the teams that like the Panamas and the Costa Ricas and the Honduras's because that's the ones you have to get out. They're the ones you have to beat to get out of CONCACAF. And this was the proper time to do it. And this is why I said we're not ambitious for the sport in St. Vincent. I don't know what you're part of the richest sport in the world, and the money is there to be made, but they have to invest it in the players. Is the game? You have no game without players and coaches, but you have to invest in that. You know, but then they're not doing the right things. The right things are not happening. And the thing is too, this is our best chance because after this World Cup, now we're not hosting anymore. It's going to go somewhere. So now we're back to just the three teams: Canada, Mexico, and the US. You got to beat them, and then the 4th place team. So now it's doubly hard. This was the chance to make an effort. And once you go to a World Cup, you're considered a World Cup team. You'll make a lot of money because you'll get invited out, especially a place like St. Vincent, right? I think Iceland right now is still the smallest country to qualify for the World Cup. But we are right there. Or what we got, 110, 120,000 people?
105.
105, okay. So maybe, I don't know what Iceland is close. But once you make a World Cup team and you're 105, that will be the talk of the tournament. After that, players will get, they got the young ones with the scholarships, players with contracts. Players will invite you to come because they'll recognize, they'll appreciate what you've done.
Because I remember when we were 72, Azerbaijan was asking to come to St. Vincent.
Of course. Everybody will come. You'll make money there. You'll make money when you travel. The players will get exposure. Right now, your players are not going to play in the top leagues in Europe because one, your team has to be ranked, and two, when to be ranked, you have to play the good teams, and the players, for them to get a work permit to play abroad, they have to have played they have to be a starter in 3/4 of your international games. We don't play much international games. When the Nations League is over, who do we play? What do we do? On FIFA dates, everybody plays somebody. Sinkis was just in Europe the other day. Everybody's moving around and playing somebody, and that's what you have to do.
I just want to tell Grit to turn down his whatever he has on there. When I let him in, he was feeding back. So turn it down, Grit.
Okay. I already do that, Dougie.
Don't make me have to give you a cement bull pistol,
But that's what it is. But then you're part of the richest sport in the world. Everybody's making money from it. But we don't seem to want to do any more than what FIFA gives us. And that's our mentality, it seems like. So we miss out on a very good chance. Everybody's fighting up to do it. And the teams we played, they can be beaten. When we played Suriname, every time we pressed Suriname, they gave up the ball. Yep. Every time we pressed them, they gave up the ball. That's how Olex scored. But how many times did we press? Maybe because we probably didn't have the fitness to press. You have to press at different times in the game. Mm-hmm. When you got a team throwing in the ball, it's against the line.
But even today when they played, they could have done so much better.
So much better, of course.
It's after the substitution that they got that Costa Rica, that El Salvador made
the second goal.
Yeah, that they give trouble, and they didn't counter.
Yeah, I don't know why that defender was taken out. Right after he was taken out, the ball came over. We couldn't defend the cross, and the guy scored. I don't know about taking. When I coach, I don't touch my defense unless there's a problem, somebody's hurt or whatnot. I let them stay there because you don't win anything without good defense. So defenders are in and they have their rhythm, unless Kevin Francis was hurt or he was winded or something. But the other thing is our teams are not fit enough. They're not fit enough to keep up with these guys.
Patrick.
Yeah.
Now we were preparing for these World Cup qualifier, and I've been hearing national players playing in 7-a-side football and 9-a-side football in St. Vincent.
This is what I'm saying, Gray. We can't do that. We can't do that. We have to get hold of the soccer. The game is all over the place. There's no organization to the game itself in the country. There's no youth league. There's nothing. People are just playing a million leagues and a million teams. And it's not sustainable to subsidize so many entities in football.
But you see, and the thing what these players don't understand. Now, if you go play in these 9-a-side, and then you got to go play international football, you got to have your muscles resting in order to keep the strength, because you're going and playing 2-3 games per week. These guys got to understand, and I don't understand why the federation, once they're in the national setup, unless it's the national club championship where they give them permission to go play for the team in the national club championship, but not in these village leagues.
But that's the point. You can't blame the players. The federation have to have standards. Everything runs on policy. You have to have good policy. Have your rules. They break the rules, they don't play national, and national is what everybody wants to play. But if you don't have rules and regulation, then anything goes.
But some years ago, we had it here in St. Vincent that a player with his club and the club could play into 2 leagues.
That's not too bad.
In the 2 leagues, you have to play with the same club. But now you will hear a player play with one team in Bayabu, then he played another team over there, and that's the whole thing. And then they're playing in these leagues without any proper structure. So when they got the national level, it's it's a totally different thing.
Yeah. I think we have to educate the players too. Players seem to think because they're playing 2 and 3 teams, then that makes them good. Everybody thinks they're a good player. Every team wants me. But they don't understand that could hurt them. Because every time you go play, it's a different environment. You're playing with different players, and you may have to play a different position.
You have
As
to
opposed to
readjust
staying with your team and honing your position. So
and,
that
and,
when you're
and
ready for
become
national, you
proficient.
know the position. Yeah.
And then become proficient at it.
Exactly. But the players, they have to teach the players that. Because I don't care how they talk about this. These players want to play. Those boys want to play football. And if you tell them things that would help them and make them understand, they will listen. I believe in that human condition because I see it all the time. But nobody talks to them. Nobody guides them. It's crazy.
There's a saying here that is saying, oh, they don't want to stop nobody from play football, but if in a national setup, you have to have certain conditions.
Great, that's rubbish. You have to have rules and regulations to protect your product, to protect the game. You're not stopping anybody. You're creating an environment and for them to flourish. But they have to understand, and those are just excuses. But the federation, this and the one before, all the federations, to get things right, they have to make some difficult decisions, and I don't think they're willing to do that. A lot of difficult decisions that they have to make, and they don't seem to want to do that because they're going to hurt some people and they won't get the vote.
Let me just say what's happening in the qualifiers. Bahamas 1, Trinidad and Tobago 7, BVI 0, Guatemala 3, Anguilla 0, Suriname 4, Cayman Islands 1, Antigua 0, Aruba 0, Curacao 2. Let me see who is coming in there. I think Roger is coming in. Let me finish this. Belize 0, Nicaragua 4, Dominica 2, Jamaica 3, SVG 1 and El Salvador 3. In just let me say this in the MLS, New England 1, New York 0, Minnesota 1, Dallas 1, Sporting KC 2, Sounders 1, St. Louis 0, and Portland 0. Let me give you some friendlies results, and then we go back to discussing. Of some of the friendlies, Peru 0, Paraguay 0, Slovenia 1, Bulgaria 1, Sweden 0, Serbia 3, Hungary 3, Israel 0, Portugal 1, Croatia 2, Denmark 3, Norway 1, Belgium 3, Luxembourg 0, Spain 5, Northern Ireland 1, USA 1, Colombia 5, Moldova 3, Cyprus 2, Brunei 1, Sri Lanka 0, Mexico 2, Brazil 3, Slovakia 4, Wales 0, Italy 1, Bosnia 0, France 0, Canada 0, Montenegro 1, and Georgia 3. The reason why I read that is in concert with what you're saying.
Exactly.
Look at the amount of friendlies that they are playing to prepare themselves.
Exactly. Yeah. Because it's worth it, Dougie. It's worth it. Once you become a World Cup team and they invite you out, that's money. That's money.
And you see who Brazil play in the friendly, Mexico.
Mexico, exactly.
The M3-2.
Yeah, they're preparing for the Copa. Brazil
Yes.
and Mexico, they play Copa. And even in the US here too, people don't understand. Mexico comes to the US every year and they have a tour. In fact, Mexico plays most of their international friendlies in the US. Why? The Latin communities here and Mexico makes they make more money playing in the US than in Mexico. Yeah, all the time they do it. Yeah.
Well, that's what happened with the cricket because of the Asian population is so vast.
Yeah.
You could have 34,000 Asians going to the game today.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You won't see the black community until the West Indies, if the West Indies were playing up there.
Yeah, and not only that, because this is the World Cup too, the prices were really outrageous.
Yes.
And that hurts our community. But I don't think that would continue. If they do things on a continuous basis, the prices will become average. You pay $50, $60 for a game or something, and and you go, it's still a lot of money. It's still more than what folks in the Caribbean would be paying. So you make money here. But I think because of the World Cup, we
got Gurley, and I know I went off on a different tangent there, but I let Gurley in just when we were discussing our football and the situation. So, Golly, what do you have to say about this St. Vincent match? Did you get a chance? I know electricity would have been a challenge for you.
Yes, it was. Definitely, it was a challenge. I tried by all means to see how I could pick it up. I didn't get Patrick's analysis quite clearly on the game. At some point I was getting a little feed, but it was because of the internet. It was a little bit warpy, so I didn't get it. But I hear Patrick, you was saying that we were giving them the ball too easily, and
well, I think in general, Roger, over the two games, right? The team needs leadership. You watch the team, and there's no leader on the pitch, you know, and a leader and good players, especially coming from the back, will help the team to maintain shape. We're not maintaining shape. We're getting down there in fast breaks, but in our build-up, that's not happening too often, you know. So we need they need more games, and there's some things like today, the second goal from Salvador, that came because a poor clearance on a header. The gentleman went up to head the ball. He headed right down in our goal area. Then the pass wide, and the guy in the wing just shot. And how many times have I been saying Caribbean players need to walk and head in the ball better? We don't head the ball properly at all.
But we had good headers in the days.
That's in the days.
In those days.
In those days, we're talking about now.
And then again, is that theory in defense is height, distance, and width. You can't head the ball
right. You head up and out. You don't, you know. Yeah. But so these are some of the things that they have to work on. Technical stuff. And again, go ahead, Roger.
Chances, because I think on a few occasions I see that we had a few chances that maybe we could probably score might have been 3-all, where we wasn't shooting on target.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I think the players have good abilities, right? I think they just need a better environment, better leadership, and more games, and they'll play better. They'll play better. You know,
Patrick, Patrick, my key to it that St. Vincent need an international coach to work with the guys.
Well,
that is my take.
We've had that before. We weren't successful. How about somebody who?
No. When you had Zoan Vance here, he moved the team.
Okay, Vance did well.
Yes, very well, because remember we lost our first game with Mexico. It must be 10-0, eh?
Yeah.
But the next game, after 3 weeks working with the team, we held them to an offside goal with 10 men and played them over 1-0.
But Dougie, mind you, Dougie, the 10-0 or the 11-0 was previous World Cup, not the one that Zoran France was.
Okay.
Because remember, I think they, as you said, they won us 1-0 with 10 men with an offside goal.
Yes.
I was highlighted on BBC for weeks and months. Till when I was at Bookament, a guest came to me and told me they want a jersey to buy, a football jersey. So I said, I bought them one, got one for them, which was because what I observed is that every president changes, brings a different look to the team. So what I observed is that it was during Jodel's time that changed the outlook of it to the team. And this guy said to me, when I bought yours, he said, no, I don't want that one. So I said, why? This is it. He said, no. And he described which one. So I took my zone for him to see. So he told me to sell him that one. So I told him, I can't sell him that one. This is my zone. What he said to me is that I want the one to remember that St. Vincent, he saw it on BBC over and over, and he watched the game live, that St. Vincent lost to Mexico 1-0 with 10 men with an offside goal. That was the significance of him wanting that jersey. You know? And added to that, our preparation during that time was on a Major League Cup, came from going to Brazil, doing camps in Brazil, going to
England too,
playing against the university teams in England, which was quite it wasn't the top teams, but it was a lot of practice. Going to Guadeloupe and beating Guadeloupe in with some of the professionals that came home from France.
That's the that's the sacrifice we have to make, Roger.
Make sacrifices because the more often you play, and the more big tougher components that you compete against and play are draw. FIFA give you aid to assist in your development. So as you go on, they assist you because they realize when you need money for the development, and that's what took place during that time.
Yeah, they have to make it's the only way. The game is the best teacher. They're only going to get better if they play teams that are better than them. Yeah. And Dougie, you just read out some scores. All the Latin teams won their games, correct?
Yes.
All the Hispanic teams won their games. It's the English-speaking teams that lost. We all lost.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not because we don't have the skill, but we it's that the professionalism and the dedication starts with the administration, and they have to realize what's at stake here. It's a win-win situation. You know, this is not whatever. This is football, the richest sport in the world.
As you mentioned earlier on, though, we have to set our home base thing, put it in perspective, because I remember when the president came out with Dougie, after he would have won the election, I questioned him on the amount. I say, I know you guys came in basically on what you meant, because FIFA insists that the election must run as it is with the 1,000 clubs. But what are we going to go back with the same thing? And his answer to me was that I told him straight up that I do not think all the clubs would have met the requirements of CONCACAF Club Championship. And in a sense, he admitted that clubs who cannot meet the requirements have to go by the way.
Yeah, you can't, as I'm saying, you can't subsidize everybody. You can't be all things to everyone. Your policy is geared towards making the quality of the game better, producing better players. That's it. That's it. If it takes 20 teams throughout the country, all the other leagues can still play, but you cannot subsidize them. You can't subsidize them.
Because what it is
I
now
agree with that, Patrick. I agree with that.
It's not sustainable. And look at the entourage. Look at the entourage that's traveled to Suriname. That's another thing. Are we serious? Are we really serious?
Well, I see what was posted in terms of the members who went to the team, but I'm hearing other persons went up after. I'm not sure.
I mean, we're going to win a game. We're going to win a game. You carry the people you need, you get in, out, and you're going home. That's it. That's it. It's not a party. It's not a whatever you want to call it.
And
just get in with the people you need to win the game, and you get out, and that's it. Professional, and you start over again.
And as you mentioned earlier on, now most of the clubs in town, like the Natural Dames, not Natural Dames, that was before my time. The Rosians, the Avenues. Well, Avenues was more like home base, but most of the clubs had players from out of town playing, right? Yeah. Now, some of the clubs that are winning the leagues in town have the same widespread players from all over the country. So, in essence, if that is what it is going on, narrow it down. People who want to play will still come on board. So, in this case, now we can have a Premier Division team, a club that has a Premier Division team, a first division, maybe a second division, and obviously a nursery.
Yeah.
So
it takes cooperation. It takes cooperation and consolidation, Roger. And they're not willing to do that. That's what
Golly, what is the rules to get a club license? And I supposed to have a senior team, a female team, and a grassroots program.
You should have all the components basically. Right, based on my understanding, you have a Premier Division team. You should have a women's team. You should have a grassroots and maybe a first division club team.
No, I know you could have, but why is it basic? Just, you have a senior male team because your senior team could be in the first division and still get your license with a female and whatever. But there was somebody. Well, I ain't calling clubs. Some of the teams where here have license. Like for instance, there is one of the club that based in our area, Roger, and I don't see they do no training. I don't see they have no female. I doesn't see they have any grassroots program.
You have to have a senior team, a male and female senior team.
Yeah,
and you could use your discretion. If they could only have one youth team, then that's fine.
Great, Bobby. That's why they were trying to grab my youngsters to play in different tournaments.
The grassroots program, the federation can do that because you don't want to burden the clubs with too many things.
No, but I think that's a move, Patrick, to have the federation deal with the grassroots.
Yes, the federation should deal with the grassroots and the schools. Schools
right.
are very important. They don't even realize. You see, I mean, I think a lot of fellas in the sport, but they haven't been in the sport long enough. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Patrick and Raj, I disagree with that. Every club should have what the federation should do. They should have somebody supervising, but the clubs are the one who should be doing the grassroots because this way they're going to get their players from.
Well, at some point you could turn it over. No, they'll get their players anyway. You're doing grassroots in a zone, in an area, but you supervise it. I don't know if the clubs could maintain that.
There's going to be. I think there's a move afoot, Patrick, to spearhead the grassroots, supervised by the Football Federation.
Yeah.
You know, and have the coaches being taught the way it should be done, and it should be supervised. Yeah.
And not only that, with the schools now. That's a captive audience. The kids are there. If a school just have a curriculum, have a program, and walk along with the school PE teacher or someone in the school who wants to coach. If not, have the federation. They have a long list of coaches there. You know, have the federation put one of their teams at the schools. Here's what they don't realize: Trinidad and Tobago build their soccer from intercal. Schools, intercal. Remember them days you used to listen to Benedict's and QRC and Fatima and Presentation College?
Same thing with Jamaica.
Yes, Jamaica too. Yeah.
And
programs to the schools.
But
Patrick,
did this.
I went to a finals of the college league in Trinidad in 1984. And when you look at the turnout, it was massive.
Yeah.
You know, that was the finals,
But great, even in the secondary school during my time, that is what it was. Like clubs used to go and take. When I left secondary school, my first club was French's. I played B division, and I went up to the Premier Division team. And when I left French's, I went to Tafari.
So Golia, you remember in those days, sports, even when they had combined school playing cricket, and you know, the school sport was a big thing.
You remember school? We had intercal with AU and 20 and all these guys.
Yep.
That team took part in our Premier Division Championship and were beating teams.
Because Scobie was close to Alvin Cornell, and he got all these
and Pele as well.
Yes, and Pele, and he got all these ideas of the development structure. That's why he went to the intercal.
See, that's what Dougie, but they're not reaching out to people who could help them. Scobie did the right thing. There's people out there that can help them, but they're not reaching out to anybody. And that's what you have to do. You know
Patrick, a former president of the St. Vincent football, claimed that they're not interested for we to go past the first round because it's too much hard work.
Exactly. Then they're hurting the players. You're denying them opportunities to move on in the sport. You're denying them contracts, development, scholarships for the kids and whatnot. In Jamaica, the Manning Cup and the DeCosta Cup are the two main cups. The Manning Cup in Kingston, the DeCosta Cup in the country, and then those two teams clash, and they're the champs of Jamaica, and that's a big thing.
You know what? It would have been nice if St. Vincent had come out winning those two games in Suriname. What it would have caused?
Oh yeah, man.
Of course.
The frenzy it would have started for soccer in St. Vincent. They would rejuvenate soccer in a way that unbelievable. Everyone won those two games and come out victorious.
But that's the thing, Dougie. They have to see that in their minds down the road. You know, we have to dream. Everything starts with a dream, you know. Everything starts with a dream.
We would have been having more teams.
I want to take a break, guys. Let me just take a break.
Do you have a passion for sport? Then Sports Highlights is a place to be. Share the passion every Sunday and Wednesday, 7 to 9 p.m. Sports from the heart, only on Sports Highlights.
moment is all that I've been dreaming of.
Well, focus. Join the vibes for the ICC Men's T20 World Cup in the Party Stand. Enjoy live performances by top artists, the hottest DJs, and so much more. Get your tickets today from Korea City Store, Kingstown. ICC Men's T20 World Cup, the vibes in the Party Stand. It's gonna be out of this world. Get your tickets now.
CK Grace and Company is the number one supermarket, 100% intention. The Intention Supermarket. We've got more of what you're looking for in multiple locations to serve you more and more. In business now for over 50 years, and you will always say by shopping right here. Oh yes, we're number one. CK Grace and Company, and we are Vincent John's, a supermarket for you and me.
Looking for financial support? At the SBG Police Credit Union, PCCU, we offer a range of loans to meet your needs. Whether it's our disaster loan for emergencies, the Just for Dad Father's Day loan, or our carnival loan for the festivities, the PCCU is here for you. Join PCCU today. You don't have to be a police officer to be a member. Walk in and talk to a loans officer with no appointments necessary and enjoy same-day approval. Benefit from low interest rates and flexible repayments. Take the first steps towards your financial goals with PCCU. Visit us at any branch today. Terms and conditions apply. The SVG Police Credit Union, towards a sustainable financial future.
Looking for sporting gear for all sports? Well, there's only one place to shop. ComSport. ComSport supplies gear for cricket, soccer, netball, table and lawn tennis, track and field, and more. ComSport provides brand name soccer shoes, socks, shin guards, balls, slippers, goalkeeper gloves, and many more accessories. Plus uniforms, complete with tops, shorts, socks, and numbers. Also in stock, cricket gear, balls, pads, shoes with spikes, batting gloves, netball shoes, balls, and bibs. And to top it off, ComSport has introduced a new line of trophies for all events. It's located in the Computech building on the second floor, opposite the Financial Complex on Bay Street, Kingstown. For more information, call 456-2691. That's 456-2691. ComSport.
St. Vincent Containers proudly introduces its high-quality bathroom tissue. Furtis, Lilies, Midushi. Manufactured to conform to local, CARICOM, and international standards. Tested and certified by the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Bureau of Standards. No roll less than 300 sheets. Legitimate sheet and core sizes. Virgin pulp, no recycled. Soft but not lightweight. Professionally produced and packaged. Now available throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Furtis, Lilies, Midushi. Excellent Vincentian products.
It's back. Yes, the Instacash game Bingo is back. You asked for it, and the NLE is giving it to you. Bingo, where there's a chance to win up to $6,000. There's also the new Instacash game, Hot Numbers, with 5 chances where you can win up to $8,000. Get your Bingo and Hot Numbers Instacash games at all Lotto agents. Instacash, where there's no waiting in line. You can win on the spot. Instacash, so easy to play.
The public is asked to note that chiropractor Dr. Edmund Seeley is now conducting clinic and will see patients by appointments only. To make an appointment, call 456-9318 or 531-5318.
5 minutes after 8 o'clock, you listen to Nice Radio Sports Highlights. We got Patrick Hahn, Good Batiste, Roger Gurley in there with us. The numbers are 4565967. Local number, the Magic Jack, 718-734-5615. WhatsApp, we have WhatsApp also, number 498-3802, 498-3802, that if you wish. That's I will send us a message if you want, and let's keep the ball rolling. So back to what we were saying.
Dougie, let me give you some updated scores. I don't know if you mentioned this. Did you mention that Costa Rica beat Grenada 3-0?
The last person.
Costa Rica beat Grenada.
I apologize. I had mute that channel with you also. Who was speaking?
Patrick was asking a question.
Yeah, no. I was just. I want to know if you some updated soccer scores.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think Bermuda and Honduras are tied at halftime, 1-1. Costa Rica beat Grenada 3-0 in Grenada. I don't know if you mentioned that. 3-0.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it looks like Barbados went under to Haiti 3-1.
3-1.
Yeah, Jamaica beat Dominica 3-2. And coming up, Montserrat and Panama.
Dominica, Dominican Republic. Dominica.
Dominica.
Okay.
Dominica, yeah.
Dominica right around the corner. Dominica.
Yeah, they're doing well.
I think Bert is up there. Bert is up.
Bert is up there. Okay. Yeah. So that's that. You know that's what we have to do. We have to. You need rules, regulations. They need to control and govern the sport better in St. Vincent. It starts at the top, and you have to have an organization. Otherwise, you're not going to produce good players.
Patrick, UEFA.
Yeah, that's another thing. UEFA. yeah. See, Roger, here's the thing. As soon as CONCACAF comes in and give us a tournament, we stop doing anything for ourselves. Why don't we have Windward Islands a tournament anymore? Why don't we have the Caribbean, our own Caribbean Championship anymore?
But do they have a window? There's a window for that, Patrick?
Windows, man. How do you window for that? What them teams doing after Nations League done? They don't play the next two World Cup games till next year.
Yeah.
Nations League comes up from September through what? September, October, November. That done. Then what? You gotta wait for months? Of course they got a window for that. Of course. They're just not serious about the sport, man. The people in the sport are not. They don't have it in their blood.
Patrick, I want to go to my favorite sport, Dougie.
Well,
could you help me with this one, Dougie? I only hear an advertisement for the party stand at Tarnesville. Do you have any idea for the price for the other stands?
No, I only could play what they sent for me, you know.
Well, all I hear about the party stand, I'm not hearing anything. And then we have 3 more days before the first game in St. Vincent. I saw something today on one of those and one of them social media that Tarnesville still haven't handed over to the ICC as yet.
Yeah, well, first of all, let me explain to you. My dealings is with an agency outside of St. Vincent. I have no interaction with the local organizing committee. I don't have no contact whatsoever. My dealings, what you hear me promote, what I promote, is totally from the agency outside of St. Vincent. I had 2 interviews with the president. That's the only local contact that I had. But he is not just local, he is also president of Cricket West Indies. So anything else, I can't answer a question that I know nothing about.
And Dougie, I could call it for the Super 8 in St. Vincent. We'll be seeing Afghanistan and Scotland.
Afghanistan and Scotland.
That is my pick, because now England is really in a sticky position, and West Indies play the 2 weakest team in the group, and they have to win the next 2 games if we are to see them in St. Vincent.
You see that Uganda bowler 4 consistent Yorkers?
Yeah, but Dougie, if you look at the game we played, the 2 games that we played, the only power hitter who came in and make adjustment to his way of batting was Russell. Push the ball and looking for the tools, because it wasn't for the wicket, but all the other top batsmen just firing. I see the game yesterday, Johnson Charles batting way outside the leg stump there for all the stump, and I see ball passing between the leg stump and him.
Hold a minute now, hold a minute. Before you go, you asked me about ticketing. Somebody just sent me tickets. Is this for the party stand only? General ticket pricing. For Thursday, June 8, 10:30, Bangladesh versus Netherlands, US $17, EC $50. Standard Plus is $17, so it's 50 right through. Okay. Friday, June 14th, 1930, South Africa versus Nepal. Is that Nepal?
Yeah.
$80 for that ticket. For the premium is 80. So remember, the first game is one price right through 17. The second game with South Africa and Nepal, the premium is $80 US, and I'm speaking US dollars, and the standard is 45. Then there's another standard, there's two standard, or standard plus is 45, and the standard is 25. On 16th of June, Bangladesh versus NEP, premium is $17. Is $70 right through, one price. On Saturday, June 22nd, the that would be a super 8, $80 for the premium, 45 for the standard plus, and 25 again for the standard. On the 24th, same thing, $80, 45 and 25. So I thank the person for sending me that information for the prices, because I never had them. Nobody never sent them to me. So I couldn't speak about anything that I don't know about. I find it so poor. And I say this for what it's worth. I find it so poor, even with the local organizing committee, knowing that we have been advertising, knowing that we have interviews with the PRO from out of Antigua and Barbados, and we had an interview with him, and that we are advertising. You don't think that the local organizing committee should have enough sense to at least send us an email and with those information and things like that? I have CPL. I could give you all the CPL information. CPL sends me information constantly, but the local organizing committee here won't send me a damn thing. Why is the reason for that?
Well, and Doggy Nice Radio do more sporting than any other sporting
Nobody is these people.
than any other station.
I have a caller. Good day, caller.
Good day, Doggy. Just want to give you some information. A while ago, the greetings my brother on the other side call on the TV, and sometimes I wonder what. I wish maybe Doggy you could have called in. And this is the point I was trying to make, that the local people, especially like Nice Radio, no other country, no other station is supporting sports than when Justin and yourself, they are on it. This is the sports station. And if you're having such a nationalistic event, obviously it should be. And then you're speaking to other countries, Antigua, and you could hear from that what has happened. If you don't bring Nice Radio as part of it, how are you going to spread it? But my main concern was Jamaica. And so Jamaica, this is what the government of Jamaica said. We are obliged to look beyond just immediate gratification. And we could not defend the cost of staging the game. They were really concerned. When we walk away from this game, would it put would the treasury be in a better position? And I'm saying, when you look at what was said on this radio station with Elsie and some people, I'm telling you, it's really, really, Doggy, let me tell you something. This is why I see me to our friends, Doggy, I know what is organization. You would do a better job to organize it. Tourism, the doldrums. Look at Jamaica economy, compare it to St. Vincent, and they're crying.
Well,
and other countries and so on. And I'm only saying, thank you, Doc, what you've been doing for
Yeah,
sport.
but I want to hold breaks a little bit, and let we understand that development, and I'm certain Patrick could agree with me on this. Development has many sides of it.
Yes, please.
We could have an economic development that involves a productive sector, a services sector, and things like that. And we also could have a sporting sector, because sports tourism can be a massive thing. The
Yes, please.
arts
Correct.
also the arts, entertainment, and things like that could be a massive industry also, and all
Yes,
can be
please.
integrated.
Yes, please.
It is
Correct.
how we integrate it without diminishing one for the other.
Correct.
And what has happened here in St. Vincent is that, okay, the prime minister has a passion for cricket. I don't think he has a passion for football, but he has a
We have a
passion for,
passion. Yeah. What if he has
yeah.
a passion for sports?
Well, he has a passion for cricket. I know he has a passion for cricket.
Yes, please.
So we didn't expect that we are going to have Cricket World Cup here. Suddenly we heard that we bid and that we are going to fix the stadium, right? But we had spent $57 million in 2006, 2007. We never maintained it. That's what Patrick was saying. We have a problem
God
with
bless you. Go ahead.
maintenance. And now we are spending another set of monies, which we don't know what it would be, because I don't buy anything that they tell me until
Mr.
it's.
Kamala said it would be sustainable. He said it would be sustainable. Doggy, let me tell you something. The gravity of the economy, when you look at I have the figures in front of me here. I could maybe give you them if you wanted. What is happening in
But we
2024,
want to stay with
25.
the sports. We want to stay with the
Yeah, no,
sports.
I stay with the sport. But all I'm saying here, basically, I love sports. But there is also a situation with the prices. So we got prices, and I see they call it out in the radio, the TV program. The prices range from 50. Well, you see $50, you see, and then 200, and the other figures work out to be $220. Doggy, when you look at the reality, I'm talking here currently, locally. Maybe some people could afford that. If I spend $100, Doggy, and most average people spend $100, it will be able to eat for the rest of the week. I'm only saying we need to have back productivity so that we could. Oh, one last thing, the carnival is pushed back. And I told them that, we have to be careful again. Pushing back, so carnival activities would have implications for people who basically would know the time, the date for carnival, and how they come in to get the holidays from overseas. I'm not here with any politics. I'm not here to knock it and say sports can't make money. I'm telling you, sports make money in St. Kitts, in Lucia, Grenada, Dominica. That little country, St. Kitts, they literally bring in millions a year for just tennis and bringing in top players from overseas. We had the best platform for sports on the previous administration. It has gone to dark. All I'm saying, I beg them, don't give me no one, nobody tell me not call me with politics. I read a lot. Let us understand, did we organize it? And if we did organize it, we are going to literally bust. We are going to put ourselves in a situation where people are going to have to pay more light bill, pay more duties, and pay more taxes. I'm begging them, Doggy. Please, because a lot of people don't call. They're afraid to call. You will speak out. I would speak out. My brother on the other side of the radio would speak out. We ain't in no politics. But all we're looking for is accountability, a plan, somebody who can manage a country, who can manage the economy, who can be honest with us. That is all I want. You hear passion in my voice. I hear with no politics. Yeah. I love you very much, what you've done for sports, what Nice Raiders doing for sports. I feel your pain that you're not literally getting. It isn't so in St. Lucia, Grenada, and Dominica. It would not have been so under Ann and Eustace and under the administration. They would have included every radio station in terms to advertise and to plan cricket, football, every other thing, carnival, even make preparation for leaving back a little for what could happen in the hurricane season.
The point I was making, Hamilton, is that
yes, my brother.
The problem that I face,
yes, please,
is not the advertising of the games.
Yes,
it is the addendum.
Yes, sir.
What I was just sent here by somebody involved in cricket now just sent me the prices.
Yes,
I have never received the prices before. This
you
is
should have received the prices before.
Right. This is the first time that I know it come up on the discussion. So obviously they are listening, and immediately they sent me the prices.
Yes,
I know who the person is that sent me. Two persons, as a matter of fact, sent me the prices. So the point I'm getting at,
yes, sir,
we have a disconnect in this country. And that is what is wrong. Not just with, just talking cricket, talking with many other things.
Many other things.
I support the fixing of the facility. I
Yes, please.
support without any apology to anybody the
No,
fixing
you don't have to.
hold on of
Go ahead.
Annisvale to and Sion Hill to bring them up to a standard that our people could play on them regularly of a higher standard, because that's
Yes,
how
God bless
we
you.
get better. But I don't want us to just suddenly take all the money that we have available and put it just in that area of economy.
God
And
bless you
that is
very
what
much,
is
Doug.
wrong.
It's
That is what
gracious
I
for
was
saying that.
saying. All right. So thank
Thank
you
you
very
very much,
much.
my brother,
Okay,
for your
man. God
insight. Love
bless.
you all very
All
much.
right.
And you did a
Okay.
lot for football.
Don't worry about that part. We can deal with that another time. Okay.
God bless you.
All
Love
right.
you, Dougie,
Okay.
and my brother on
All
the
right.
other side. Love you all very much.
Nice radio
Okay.
for my people. So
Yeah,
Patrick,
yeah, Dougie. What well, a lot of people was planning because they expect that we would have seen either England, Australia, West Indies here for the Super 8. But the way how it looking now that we're not seeing none of them three teams in St. Vincent, you
Yeah,
know.
but I think, Greg, once you get to the Super 8, it's going to be competitive cricket, man. It don't matter who comes. It's
Y- y-
competitive
y-
cricket. So you have no
But
control over that.
but I remember one time there was no visa given. What no visa was for the Afghan people. So I don't know what happened now because Afghan is going to my pick. Afghan is going to win the group the West Indies in,
hold
and
on a
then the
minute.
winner will be coming to St.
I got
Vincent.
a WhatsApp. I have a WhatsApp caller. Good evening, caller. The caller in the WhatsApp. The call is there, but the person not answering. Caller, the caller in the WhatsApp. They disappear. Oh, so go ahead, Gray.
Yeah, is that because we heard that there wasn't saying no visa to people from Afghanistan, so but Afghanistan seemed to be the team qualifying to come to St. Vincent
Who na
because
issuing visa? Who na issuing visa?
if
Let me check this caller back now. The WhatsApp caller, go ahead.
Yeah, greetings, brother Doggy.
Yes, sir.
Bubba here. I
Yeah.
know we had a discussion like you all asked me to call, but then problem trying to with the link. I don't know what's called, but once you say just now someone on the WhatsApp, it was like, but I'm a scream just saying connecting. So I hang up on chat.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, technology how it is. Yeah, Doggy. I'm Patrick on the rest on the audience there, you know. Bless up. Glad to hear you all as usual.
Good to hear you, man.
You know, at a high standard, you know. Better than these guys in Barbados. Yeah. Doggy. Doggy, before I let me get this thing clear I got out, but I'm gonna add something to what you said. But I know you all probably was listening on the cricket match, I think was yesterday, okay? I was listening this guy Andrew Mason. Sometimes he get me kind of irritated. Some things he say. Now he was talking about the Uganda team have to play. Will be playing right on another match. And by the time he said the team from Uganda, he mentioned say Idi Amin men. You know, and make a chuck and then saying you know, he was terrible or miserable or some word he used, you know. And I get so wrenched, you know what I mean? How could you torment the team, you know, like as if he's putting on the African brethren of them. You should even try to emphasize and say, well, you know, it's a good that they up in the cricket and you wish to see other African
But
states, you know, get involved.
Idi Amin is history.
Exactly. There's no need to mention that.
These things in sports,
Yeah.
you know, because from Western media, you have certain things that Idi Amin, you have good and bad, but anyone you can think about in the world, any leaders you could pinpoint, because you look into something which are not getting involved, he did a few irie things still, you know. But the statement that he made, you know, and saying that terrible man. So where you want to link the cricketers to? You cannot do these things, Doggy. You know, if I was in Weather's playing, I demand apology from him for the African brethren of them. So I just saying, let me jar that out, you know. I was kind of wrenching. You know?
I think that's a good point you make. I think that's a very good point you make.
Yeah, man, you do not do that as a professional broadcaster.
Yeah, you don't do that.
My brethren, you in the United States, you know, if a commentator did that,
Oh yeah.
you know, say especially to the so-called Jews in particular, were happening now, and it was a team, and you mention anything like that, you know, say, well, boy, the Jewish team playing tomorrow, you know, like, Netanyahu men of them, Netanyahu that terrible man. What do you think?
Couple smoking pipe.
Yeah.
Now you fight might be chalice. A big
Good
chalice.
analogy. Good analogy, my friend.
But
Yeah.
Bongo Shaka,
You see it, you know. Yeah.
Good contribution. Thank you very much.
No,
Shaka,
No, go ahead, no.
yeah, if you just listen to the Mason and guest on Tuesday, you will hear how they run down. Well, when McCoy was selected in the 15, you should have heard the kind of a thing that they had to say about McCoy.
Man, I know that's why I tell you, I stopped listening, man, of them. He just turned me off. If I was in Barbie, listen, I don't call him fully up long time because I was a very known voice in Barbie, the radio station, especially when Chester Khan used to be on CBC. I used to call and Red Fusion, all of these stations. I'm very known and popular there, you know. But he need to cool out, eh? And I'm glad, Gray, you mentioned that what he did with McCoy. I remember that in particular. And I remember
Not only that, he was calling for Johnson Charles to get dropped and bring in Shai Hope.
Yes. Yes.
know?
Yeah.
After one game.
You're very pompous and egocentric guy, eh? I don't spot that long time, eh?
But
We're
here's
not that guy, Anthony Mason.
Well, it shows you how much of a... Go ahead, Bongo. Finish your
I
thought.
hope he don't come here to do commentary, no doggy. If he come here, I'm gonna find him, you know. I thought you're gonna look for him face. So, yeah, you not forget ticket and go in there and find him when he done broadcast, he coming outside or whatever. I will put him in his place in a proper principled way, you know.
Well, some people strive in controversy, you know. That's how they strive.
Yeah, and the man giggling over it, so he could not know. Oh, you know what I mean? And he didn't even say mention what players say upcoming players, Ugandan. The man of them is trying to hold it.
Man, I watched that Ugandan fast bowler bowl, and he bowled 4 consecutive Yorkers that gave them in trouble. And if they had better batsmen, we would have probably been in trouble because when I see, and one of the problems that I notice, and I've been saying this over, I say this to Alex all the time as a bat, I don't understand. You bowl all kinds of balls, but you coming down to your last 2 overs. You have 30 runs to make off of 12 balls or something or the other. Your thing is not about taking wickets. You are now about bowling an economy.
Yeah.
You have to be an economic bowler. Why are you bowling short balls? Why are you not bowling line and length or Yorker? Let the man go for the stroke. Exactly. Yeah, he bowling by guess. As a guest
you
bowler.
do not experiment in games like that, especially coming down to the end. As you say, where you economize on your runs and you know, man, trying to take wickets or whatever. I didn't like how they operate.
In bowling line and length, you may get hit for boundary, but certainly is a better chance of the batsman making a mistake, and it is a better chance that you only could get a single or 2 runs, so that you won't lose the game. Too often, these guys are bowling ball, just dropping short ball. Man, they're gonna hook you. A good batsman gonna hook you.
Doggy, I think because the brethren them is kind of inexperienced. You know, they come in on stream, so you need some.
I ain't speaking about Uganda. No, I compliment Uganda bowlers.
Yeah.
For West Indies lucky that they made that amount of runs, and they're lucky that Uganda's batsmen are not really up to par. But the bowlers bowl very well to all West Indies. So don't underestimate, you know. West Indies have some good hard hitters, you know. And they can make a lot of runs on you. And to hold them down to 100 and something runs means that the bowlers bowl very well.
But dog, you see all these Patrick and Gray. You see how these cricketers that they so-called low down teams or whatever how they want to term them. The new team. Like remember when Afghanistan
The
came,
associated members.
yes, WA and Taliban and this with Muslim and this Islamic, and these guys surprise a lot of people in the world.
Creating
I was
upset.
surprised.
Right. And that's a good thing too. When the associate members could come and get the exposure, it's motivation for them to go back home and continue to grow. And that expands the game and that brings more parity to the game, and you have you have better cricket.
And then you might get the Taliban again involved and try to push the cricket more in Afghanistan. You never know. It could be a motivating factor.
Yeah. I think Nepal, Uganda, and Nepal, Uganda, and Papua New Guinea, I think, are the new teams in the tournament for the first time, and that's great. That's good. You gotta expand the sport. You gotta expand the sport. And that's a good.
Let me say what gotta say finally and get off and listen y'all. Doggy and Bregin who on the chat or whatever, right? I'm wary. I don't want to use the word. I'm wary, fed up, cringe, screwing, whatever words people use when you're real upset. I'm aware of the fact of the disrespect. I hope the sporting people listening. I've been listening for years. Doggy, I was on your say from in 2001, and since the inception, I've been listening you all this station, right? I'm trying to make conduit whatever I could at any time. And I'm aware of the fact of the disrespect method out to nice radio throughout the years from a lot of sporting entities here, and not giving you information, not bring you on board with something, because many a years your station, the station that brought around a lot of unity among people. When you hear Justin and Gaul, hear them and the pastor bringing over commentary with football and so on, as if like you right in place there, you have man go overseas and bring it over to people, and the big sacrifice you're making. I'm tired of this because I've been listening for cricket prices too, and I can't figure out what's the price. And you have companies who advertise and sell a thing like a big company, and not calling the name, and they just advertise, and I trying to figure out what's the price. All they tell you, they sell tickets and this and that, right? And I'm glad you brought it on through. I say, wow, Doggy, right on target there, and they have no respect for us to come and friends with Doggy. But we don't friend thing with these things, principle. But if you my friend or brethren, wherever, we tell one another things that is truthful, you may hurt you or whatever, but it will uplift and strengthen you, you know what I mean? So I don't like what they're doing to Nice Radio. It's time enough you all stop this foolishness and behave as big man or big men. When you're a child, you behave like a child. And I think it's like a childish behavior. Whoever had the personality thing against you or against Nice Radio or Justin, whoever, or Gray or Patrick, whoever, they must stop it.
Bongo,
we need to unify each other
Bongo,
and push the information
Bongo,
out.
let me tell you this here. Nobody will stop Nice Radio from doing what we do with respect to sports or socio-political economic awareness. We'll always do it. It doesn't matter. We got another caller on the other line.
So give thanks. That's what I want to get
then.
into. But you all jam me out, and you don't get it.
No problem,
tell me
brother.
to call.
Okay then. No problem.
So when
Thanks
you
a
see
lot.
me, you forgive me, no fire.
Yeah,
give thanks, Patrick.
Thanks a lot.
Take care, Bongo. Take care, man.
Yeah, man. One love, Irene.
The other caller, good day, caller.
David?
Yes, sir.
Hey, good night. Well, I heard you speaking about the prices.
Right.
I have something here from ICC. I'm just dealing with the Pakistan for information purposes. Pakistan in, first of all, St. Lucia is $450 for all matches. To come out to be about $1,200 EC. In Antigua is $1,890. I talking about EC dollars, right?
They're all inclusive, Stan?
Yeah.
Right,
all matches.
Yeah.
Barbados is $2,000. Who wants to go Pakistan and enjoy themselves? I'm just getting the prices.
Right.
In St. Grenadine is $946. Pakistan only for all matches. This is from ICC. This has nothing to do with no CWI, right?
Right.
Guyana is 100,000 Guyanese dollars. Don't laugh. You have to go dollar for dollar. That's the currency of the country.
That's why he stand empty. He stand him empty.
I talking about Pakistan and talking about the rest. Entrance, I talked already. I had that other one for him, but he done read it out. That ain't no problem. In Trinidad is 2,800. Ghana is 100,000. In SCG 946. In Barbados 2,000 Bajan. Right? In St. Lucia $1,216. That's strictly for Pakistan only. So who wants to go Pakistan to have the fun? Say one.
Where you going?
When they send the helicopter. Are we gonna land? We will land close to the bar. That is the.
Yeah.
Or we can go in the pool.
Yeah, we go in the pool. We land in the pool. Get harness. You drop me down
Where-
like
where-
you drop me and
where-
you down in the pool like if one of them Coast Guard helicopter rescuing you. You know?
But the pool is the only thing they're telling you to come on Israel to see the pool, because I hearing some of them talking, all they talking about the pool and some grass, mung or something. That's all they're talking about.
That's all right. That is normal. But only one concern I have about the pool, fellas. My only concern about the pool is whether or not they have installed agitating pumps in the pool. Because if I had to go to a place like that, I ain't going to no pool that is stagnant water. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yep.
That is dangerous.
But now in that doggy, when you go in a pool, if you go to the hotels, they have standard rules. You have to have a wash off before you go into the pool, because some people put on the sunblock and the cream and all that.
Yeah.
That's contamination. So that should be I should, well, they say party, so maybe nobody concerned. Just go and have a party.
Yeah, I'm serious. This is a serious concern to me.
It
It's
has to
okay to have the pool. It's okay to have a pool. Patrick, you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah. I hear you.
You should have agitating pumps because you need to breathe oxygen. You
Yeah.
can't have stagnant water.
Yeah, circulate the water. Yeah.
It could be problematic, you know?
Doggy,
Uh-huh.
let us wait and see how it goes.
All
I
right.
believe they have certain things in place, you know.
Okay, all right. Okay. I didn't from
I
the
think they have
photo
certain things
from
in
the
place.
photographs, I didn't see any of the jets or anything in
Yeah,
the
I think they have them in the bottom of the pool,
they're in the
the
bottom.
bottom of the area. Let me
Oh,
put it that way.
yeah,
That is
okay.
that is called pool.
Okay.
So I'll be able to have this revolving type of water going around.
Yeah.
I think it's something like that I saw.
All right.
So we got to be positive. I think there's
No, I'm not
certain
being
things are in
negative.
place.
I'm being negative. I'm only just saying, giving a caution, because sometimes people can do things and omit things without paying attention to
I know.
simple matters like
Sometimes
that.
things do slip.
Yeah.
And things do happen.
And
So I just say, let me give you the heads up with the Pakistan what it costs.
And we don't want no negativity thing coming out
No.
of the games.
We had to be positive.
Our games must go through it flying colors, and we must highlight St. Vincent and the Grenadines as futuristic for major games. That's what we want.
Yeah, Dougie, there are some things happening there that I wouldn't say anything for now. I prefer to just stay quiet. Leave it where it is until
The only thing I want to do is to get you to go up on the pole when you're ready to fix the light. I want me and you go up on the highlight pole.
Well, the problem with it is the cranes have already done their boom. And I believe ready to take the boat to go back to Barbados.
Oh, so you ain't going up there then?
No way.
What do you feel about the games of cricket that you watch over the weekend? Give me a little feeling.
Partner, this game in the T20 World Cup is bringing out the men from the boys. Because the pitches, to me, is very exciting cricket. We have grown accustomed to watching IPL where we see this 250 plus, etc. Now we're seeing pitches that are doing the dance, the same movement, the variable bunks. It brings out the skill in the better players. And to me, mentally, it is coming out. Because you cannot play big shots on those pitch. You have to grind it out and wait. Because once they bowl in this back of a length type of balls, it's very difficult to hit it away. So I would say it is bringing out the men from the boys, the skill set, the skill level.
So you would say you would say this is further developing the batting capability of the cricketers who make it into T20 World Cup or in T20 as it is, where we didn't see the early stages of T20 where men just come and whoop.
Well, if I use your term, you cannot go on those pitches and say you're gonna whoop. It's not gonna. You're not gonna work. You're not gonna survive. You have to learn to grind it out. I saw David Warner, the Australian, known as an explosive opening batsman. The very first game, the way he grounded it out, and he set up a base for the Australians to put up a good total. That is the kind of batting that is needed. If you look at the way some of the better, quote-unquote, better players are being dismissed, they're trying to play big shots too early.
Yep.
And they're running into problem, whether they're from Oman, maybe Uganda. These fellas are bowling damn good. And with the assistance coming from the different pitches, you have to learn to sit on a bat.
Yeah, because if you don't, you're just going to run yourself.
To me, I really don't have any problems with the pitches,
I tell them people, so I
don't have a problem.
I remember Fitzhuggins and we were discussing on Facebook and so forth. I was telling, and people complaining about it. I said, Fitz, the pitch is only now showing you if you really can bat. And if you can, you would make the adjustment to the kind of pitches that you're playing on.
Precisely.
And let me add to that too, Doggy. For years we talk about how slow the pitches are in the Caribbean. We have a pitch here in New York that's bouncy and quick, and like Gunny says, it demands good batting. And a lot of people are criticizing the pitch. Commentators down there. I mean, a pitch like that. Every game that I watched, it went back and forth. You had excitement all through the game. You had India was at one point 80 for 3, 80 for 4. Okay, they wind up making 119. Pakistan was on the way to winning the game. All of a sudden, boom, Boomer comes in. He used the pace of the pitch, he used the bounce, and Pakistan they lost. They lost. It's a nice bouncy pitch. It brings excitement to the game. South Africa bowled out somebody for cheap. At one time, South Africa was 12 for 4. That's the excitement in the game that you want. 12 for 4. And the fourth wicket was Klaasen. So everybody thinking Klaasen gone, 12 for 4, South Africa done. Milan, the other fellas stood up. Them fellas stood up and batted. So the thing is, if you can bat, because they're going to say you can't whoop yourself out of these good pitches. If you can bat, you're done. Look at the young boy from Canada. Same thing with Canada and Ireland.
Yep.
The Irish come and the Asians are not accustomed to such bouncy wickets, So today they started to criticize the pitch, and then eventually they won the game and that went quiet. Sunil Gavaskar said nothing bad about the pitch. He was there.
But one guy from the Netherlands said you have to adjust quickly to the pitch.
Of course, it's a challenge.
And he said to just go after the first ball without merit could prove futile. You have to feel the ball coming to you first, and then you understand where the kick. Let me ask you a question: where the guy Cotton? Where's Cotton Roots? Barbados.
Well, here's the joke. A partner of mine was watching the game. Yeah. Well, here's the joke. So I was sitting right over where the players come out, right? So I said to my partner, that named Cotton, boy, and he batting well. The boy from St. Vincent, I try to take credit for him. After the game, when I heard the interview, I heard the Bajan accent. Excellent batsman. And he went to the wicket. He and his partner put up 75 for that mid-wicket stand.
I'm telling you.
You have to bat.
But he looked like flood cotton in them, but all the cottons are
That's what I said. I had to be holy bread and flood brother or cousin or something.
Nothing wrong with trying to take a little claim.
How you mean? Look, Trinidadians take credit for Frankie McIntosh every day. Every day. Yeah, but it's good. I think West Indies should, look, go talk to these folks and see where they got, how they got together.
But West Indies might surprise us in this game. Anyway. Never could tell,
No, I'm talking about the pitcher. I was talking about the pitchers, really.
They got to win the game against New Zealand when they play in Trinidad in order to go to the next round. They must.
Well, we'll see. We will see.
Cause they play the 2 week. They don't play the 2 weakest team in the group, and now they had the challenge with New Zealand and Afghanistan. We got to see how they're going to shape in those games.
That's a challenge.
But Gunny, I remember all your clocking. You make a prediction that there will be a lot of upset in this World Cup, and we're seeing it.
I'm glad you remember.
Yeah, all you make that prediction be a lot of upset in the World Cup, and we're seeing it.
You see the gap between the associate members and the big boys is closing. It's like football. The gap is closing. So you will have these type of results for the simple reason some of them are underestimating mentally how well these associate members can bat bowl. If Uganda had batters, they would have been doing much better.
Yes.
Because the bowling is pretty good.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
Yeah, and Scotland playing good cricket.
Once you do not have the IPL type pitches, they are going to give problems. The thing why you want to predict here, I think the pitches will get better as the tournament progresses.
As a dry out
tournament. Yeah, I think so. It's not dry out, it's a matter of...
No, when I say, if you look at the moisture content, when you lay these things on what has been happening, we had, in the region, we had a lot of rain, Whilst it might not affect the pitch itself directly, with the amount of moisture in the soil, it seep and come, and after a while now, you see it again condition.
Yeah, but Doggy, the thing with it is this. Most of the pitches have not really been tested.
Yeah.
They have been relayed. Hence, the pitches can only get better once matches are played on them. I think that's part of the problem, which creates for exciting cricket. Because my understanding, I didn't see that some cricketers here tried out the pitch at Annesvale and they say it has good bunks. I wait to see. I don't know. So I think that's part of it. I believe, even look at Barbados. Barbados pitch is giving a sort of a problem. It's not the usual, Kensington.
No, it's not the usual.
It's not the usual. Yeah. I saw a game today in Antigua and at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium there. And the bunks was even good. And Scotland got 150 something and Oman got 150.
And a lot of movement on the ball.
A lot of movement. But they were able to survive. Australia has a game to be played there, and there's a question to see how that will pan out.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
But anyway, I know I don't like hold up the line.
No,
Honduras,
okay.
Honduras is leading.
You have the authority to hold up the line.
Honduras is leading Bermuda 5-1.
5-1?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Okay.
I didn't want to say anything in relation to the other game because I saw the game because after cricket, I went straight and looked at the games of them.
Yes,
there was a channel 289 and 291. 2 games were being played simultaneously.
Yeah.
So I was able to look at them.
You just a little bit off the thing there. You see with the Barbados Royal team.
The Barbados Royals team.
Yeah, for the
CPL.
CPL.
Yeah.
You saw the team.
It.
Yeah, you saw the
I
team.
saw it.
Yeah. Let me just read it out. Rovman Powell, Jason Holder, David Miller, Quinton Denock, Mahesh Tikshana, Alex Antes, Naveen Hewitt, Obed McCoy, Kevin Wickham, Kesav Maharaj, Rakim Cornwell, Naheem Young, Rivaldo Clark, and Raymond Simmons. That's for the Barbados Royals for the CPL coming up.
I see like you have some tongue twisters there. With
yeah, man. I got my tongue can't roll up and think this. I gotta train my tongue. I can't batten them wickets, them.
But dog, you're listening to Patrick, okay? You see the CPL thing. Something has to be done because a president of the West Indies Cricket Board at the time, Mr. Julian Hunt and his guy in St. Lucia, they've gone and signed a 50-year contract. With apparently nobody seemingly want to address it. That is a death knell for West Indies cricket. Because the West Indies CWI, something has to be done in order for the CWI to have their own T20 tournament, which way Stanford had with St. Vincent, Antigua, Grenada, everybody playing. Then more talent will be unearthed, rather than having this franchise who are holding you at ransom.
So
because they're bringing in who they want, pay them big money,
How many
and then the
years?
talent in the Caribbean across each island, you cannot see it. You've been stifled.
How much years is signing contract?
50-year contract.
And any cricket up to 30 overs, you have to get permission from CPF.
Yeah, precisely.
We have
It's
Alex
nonsense.
in there. Alex came in.
Well, I heard the Barbados Prime Minister said something. They have to take a look at that arrangement. They have to look at that arrangement.
Something needs to be done with that arrangement. That is terrible.
Well, how do you do something like that? That's you know how many generations of players, you know, and then you have to your whole destiny is in their hands. It's ridiculous. Who does that?
Yes, Patrick. The problem with it is, as I said, Lucian, Dominica, and Antigua, and wherever.
all evening.
You'll not see them. They will emerge because of how CPL is operated.
Yeah. I watching this basketball game. You're watching the game.
Who is that? That's Butcher?
No, well, is that the way extra for you? Waiting you to chime in and say something?
Yeah.
Let me free up my end and let me listen some more, man. Because
okay then.
more can be said, but
Yes.
having not heard from Alex, maybe he got caught up coming from
Alex is in there waiting for about 10 minutes now.
Yeah, but here I believe he was in his helicopter still flying home from the game.
Yeah.
Good night, Alex.
Yeah, the guys waiting.
Yeah. Okay, still 5-1 in the match, the football game.
Okay.
All right, I listen.
All right.
Man, come on now, man. Let me.
Yeah. But we got to extend for half an hour for Butcher, so Butcher could come in. We knew he was going to be late today anyway. No, but I that is serious. There, Alex, what do you have to say? I saw you there. I let you in a long time ago, but I didn't announce you. But everybody.
No, I was on the phone when someone listened to Gunny when Gunny talked, you know.
Yeah. So what the game today now? What's your thing of the games today?
Pakistan is a worthless team. Pakistan is not supposed to lose the game there.
You call it worthless team?
Yeah, Pakistan is always worthless. You don't know which team will show up.
They should not have lost the game.
But you know, Patrick, Foxy went to the same game he went to on Friday. Friday was Ireland against Canada.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so I can't tell he went to the game, then he parked here and he parked there for the $3 and I don't know how he reached the stadium.
Well, I parked in the street. I didn't park in.
I told him, and he wasn't joking. You know, I tell you, give him a ticket to go Monday or Tuesday.
No, Tuesday and Wednesday. I have tickets for Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah. So Fox, you want to go back Wednesday? Alex can get a ticket.
Remember Wednesday is India against the USA. That's Wednesday. And Tuesday is Pakistan against Canada.
2 good games.
Which is 2 good games.
2 good games.
And so you have playing somebody on Monday out there. So that's the last 3 games out there. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. 3 good games.
We can't tell the USA and Canada playing real good.
Yep.
Playing real good. Real good cricket.
Pakistan have to win big time, otherwise Pakistan will be out of it.
US win 1 more game, they gone to the Super 8.
Yeah, well, Pakistan have to play Ireland, and if US beat them big time, I mean that the USA in the Super 8.
Mm-hmm.
And Pakistan out.
That'll be interesting. But as we say, some upset coming.
A lot of upset is coming right now. And again, as Grace says, Scotland, I mean, England have to watch it because Scotland is on top big time.
Yeah, England had to win the other two games big in order to up the next one,
Really
right?
big. And then Australia have to beat Scotland really big. Otherwise, England is out.
It's interesting.
Yeah, great game. Great games. Doggy boy, as you see today, the crowd was so big out there.
Man, 34,000. Look our friend Mr. Butcher. Mr.
Yeah.
Butcher, I hope you come with your carving knife and your whatever to carve out this piece of steak, you know.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening to your listeners.
Yeah, good evening, Butcher.
Wait.
Good.
What is my friend Patrick Horn saying this evening?
What I'm saying is, Butch.
You have both guns out of your holster.
Yes, and it's to protect the pitch we have here in New York. Everybody, a lot of guys are criticizing it. It's one of the best pitches we have. Huh?
Patrick, I am. Let me just say this, gentlemen. I am so happy in this World Cup that we have pitches as we have been seeing.
Exactly.
Because what it has brought a balance of the battle between bat and ball. That is what cricket is about.
Exactly.
I got so sick of watching T20 cricket where top bowlers in the world got mediocre, average batters hitting them to all parts because they could just stand and deliver. No, you have to have technique. I actually was enthralled with the game with South Africa and Netherlands.
Exactly.
A low-scoring game. So South Africa is my second team after West Indies. They 12 for 4 after 4 overs in dire straits.
Yes.
And two batters come together.
Exactly.
And bat like a test match.
Exactly.
Right? And weather the storm. And because as the cliche goes in batting, and it's not a cliche, it's a fact. The longer you're out there, the easier it gets. That's why David Miller could have finished off that game in style because he was out there from 4 overs. So he had
he was climatizing to the pitch.
Exactly. He was fully acclimated.
And you see, South Africa has for me, they have the best balance.
Before we continue,
yes, I agree with that.
1 minute, guys. Before we continue, I have a caller. Let me just get this call out. Good night, caller.
Yeah, you guys say 100,000 Guyanese dollars for the Pakistan, right? That works out to 500 US. So that's actually cheaper than the Pakistan in Barbados. Because you say the Pakistan in Barbados was $2,000, which is 1,000 US. It's not that bad. It's not that bad after 500 US.
So Alex, wonder if you're coming for the ticket to go Tuesday or Wednesday.
No, I'm not gonna go. I work night time, so I'm.
Okay, all right. You're born out.
No, but the game is playing 10:30 in the morning. Every game is playing 10:30 in the morning.
You might be too tired.
10:30.
You see, he go weary. All right. Let me go back. Let me go back to Butcher. All right. Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. So, Butcher.
Yes.
I was the same thing that you were saying that I said very early.
Mm-hmm.
My good friends and them telling me some criticizing pitch and this and that. I said, man, let me tell you something. When you have a bat in your hand, you have to defend the wicket.
Yes.
And you have to. It ain't no whooping business anymore.
Correct.
T20 has reached the stage where it has captured the interest of the world. And because of that, good cricket stroke must be played.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, that is why it's important that we still play test cricket.
Yes.
Because when you play test cricket, you learn how to hold, be
Exactly.
disciplined, and be
Exactly.
disciplined. Be
And
disciplined.
and, and we saw some of that in ill discipline today by the Pakistani batters.
Exactly.
You have
Exactly.
100. I mean, if those Pakistani batters had taken a page out of the book, a leaf out of the book of what David Miller and Tristan Stubbs did, Pakistan
Yeah.
wins this game today, going
Yeah,
away.
yeah,
Going
yeah.
away.
India too, India messed up in the batting
Oh,
too,
similarly, because
Yes.
the
So they
Indians
don't.
came out swinging regardless
Yeah.
of thinking they would hit their way out.
Look,
Because
look,
why?
look
A
how
lot of
Kohli got out. Look how Kohli got out.
Oh yes, I mean, and this is second time Kohli has gotten out like this in the tournament. The
Ball a
first
mile, a
game, the
mile from
same
his,
way he got out.
a
And
mile
he's
from his off.
and he's too experienced to allow that to happen to him.
Exactly. And I'm wondering if it was the occasion that got to Kohli,
Yeah,
the
had to
play
be.
a sea of blue in New York and all the dignitaries and so on, his wife there looking on, the great Sachin Tendulkar and all the brass of the BCCI, etc. And he's seeing the sea of blue that he came to try to entertain and forgot that this pitch is not a pitch where you could come and entertain in the typical manner because it's giving bowlers assistance and it's bouncing that extra bumps. And if with the extra bumps, it can cause a batter to do something.
You can't wear corduroy suit to this pitch. You have to
No, of course
you have
not.
to wear tuxedo.
Correct.
I got a caller. Let me take the caller. Good night, caller.
Well addressed.
We have a caller.
I would like to see West Indies get back on top world cricket. So I would like if a program could set up that to get the West Indies batsmen, them put them to bat for 3 days. If we said it out 100 times, let them bat to keep the concentration.
Well,
thank you very much.
I have some good news for the caller regarding this World Cup. Because with the Pakistan loss and Scotland winning so convincingly today, having a good net run rate, the United States have a decent net run rate. The United States, if the United States can win against Ireland,
United States is in.
And Scotland plays a close game, even though if they lose to Australia,
right,
England will be out of the World Cup, as well as Pakistan will be out of the World Cup. And guess which group they will be going into in the Super 8s? They will be in the same group with the West Indies. So we would have the pink party. It would be South Africa, West Indies, Scotland, and United States.
No, but Basil, tell them that if West Indies beat New Zealand, West Indies is in. But if we lose against New Zealand, they could be out.
We could very well be out. That's why on the show earlier today I was on, I stated that game on Wednesday against New Zealand is the pivotal match in their group for a couple reasons. One, if New Zealand loses, they're out of the World Cup virtually. From West Indies' perspective, if we win, we are into the Super 8s, and that dicey Afghanistan game will not have any effect on us moving forward. So it is very imperative for us to win that match, so we don't have to slip on don't have to worry about slipping on the banana peel. So the proverbial banana peel against Afghanistan.
Hold it, let me take this call.
All right.
Caller, Magic Jack.
Yes. Good night. Good night, guys. What's his name is there? Used to be on with Justin. It used to be Justin.
Alex.
Alex, good night. Charles, man, how you doing? I
I'm
often
good.
said that it's always good to have you on the program taking up from where Justin is, because you have been a person who I really admire when speaking about cricket. You know everything about the sport, and your highlights and so forth will always
Charles,
be good.
Charles.
Yes, I
You
know you're
Alec,
talking about West Indies cricket.
Charles, let me tell you something. Don't swell up Alex head.
No, I'm not sorry
I
about
tell
Alex said.
you, do
I'm
not
just being
swell
honest.
up Alex head
Let's be
tonight.
honest.
All right?
But anyhow, guys, let me tell you what I really called to say, right? Doggy, the Arnesville playing field, it's been lighted, and it's a wonderful thing to see that Arnesville has been lighted. I want to hold and I want to pray that this now development of the lights in Arnesville could bring better sports in St. Vincent, where we could continue having cricket, football, international football, and get the young people back into it because St. Vincent has lost its way when it comes to football and cricket in general, right? And with this lighting up of the playing field, and we see now that doing proper development on the other fields in order to get practice matches and so forth for the World Cup. I hope that this could continue and keep these fields developed and so forth. And let's not see what they're doing in Calico, parking cars on the playing field and all these sort of things. And looking at the lights that they put up in Calico just because of an election. You see the state of the lights now? I hope that Arnesville don't come to be deteriorated like how the lights in Calico has been treated because all this money has been spent. These lights in Calico should have been better, should have been working, and should have been doing better for the sport in St. Vincent and Grenadines throughout St. Vincent and Grenadines, that everybody should be able to use it and have it for what it is. And all those lights has just been taken down and they don't know what, nobody doing nothing. So I want to see Arnesville. Doesn't matter who go there, keep it and let us see the development of whatever sport go down there. You have the hard court and everything down there. Let's see better lights down there now and let Arnesville becomes what it's supposed to be and develop for the sports. And I think that Arnesville should name after Winston Davis. Have a good night, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Okay, then. Good night. Okay, yeah. So well, that's a localized issue we're dealing with the
No, I would beg to differ. That is a region issue.
region issue.
Why I say that? Because nowhere in the region do we maintain anything we build. That is
That's
not
a
a
problem.
St. Vincent problem. That is a regional problem. It's funny. I heard a speech by a lady from Barbados when they had the big town hall meeting when they all visited Kensington the other day before the World Cup opened. A lady from Barbados raised that issue to the prime minister. People was making noise, and the prime minister had to shut them up and said the lady making sense because we build things all over the region and leave it, and then they fall apart, and then we got to spend more money to rebuild it. If we
Because
spend the money if we just had the maintenance, we wouldn't have to spend all the money.
because all we should have been doing to Arnesville was really basically putting the lights if we had maintained it.
Exactly.
I have another caller here. A caller?
Hey, good night, fellas. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah, I just wanna as you have Butcher on the show there because Butcher is a regular contributor to Angie and Mason show.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that he's on it because even when he was a very guy who was also against Mackay on the team too. It's like an anti thing with Andrew Mason show in Barbados when it comes to Vincent and cricketers. It's not just McCoy, Ambrose, and Winston Davis. It go way back. So I call in to say when I look at the records, because they were saying how could McCoy come in for holder, and I was just pulling up all them records, and in T20, the only one who have a better record than McCoy there is Alzari Joseph. So I don't know how Mason and Basil and all them guys could be talking about how could McCoy replace Jason Holder when if you look at the statistic, he's way better than the others, with the exception of Alzari. So I don't know. It's some kind of anti-Vincent thing when it comes to Andrew Mason show. And this been going on for a long time. But I'm glad he's on the show so I can point out that to him. He's on there now, he might say something different. But that's what I listen to Andrew Mason.
Well, but you could defend yourself. You know.
Yes, I could defend myself. Let me just say this.
Yeah,
Let me say this right off the bat. I don't care where in the Caribbean a player comes from. My critique of a play is not based on where the play come from, right? If I critique a player, or I should not critique, analyze a player, I don't care where they come from. I'll tell you something. Even so far, in the regional tournament. I don't even care who wins the regional tournament anymore. There was a time when I was growing up, I want Guyana win. I don't even care anymore. All I care about in the regional tournament is to see the players who coming through, see the performance, analyze. Now, for the McCoy thing you're talking about, when I raised the issue regarding McCoy to hold up, if you had listened to me carefully, I stated Holder is a three-dimensional player, right? Just from a cricketing perspective, he's a three-dimensional player. Now you're bringing in McCoy, who is a one-dimensional player, right? And I then went on to say, maybe the role they're bringing McCoy in for is a role that Holder would have been playing
Follow
as
that
a,
just now. I'm doing the program.
right? That's what I stated, right? So, because why I put both of those things in there is because, again, one of my serious criticisms, and I have been consistent in this criticism. The West Indies board media relations is very poor. They continue to be poor. Desmond Haynes has been getting away with murder. As a lead selector, he does not go before other outlets except the controlled West Indies board press conference. When Roger Harper was the lead selector, you'd hear Roger Harper and Sports Smart. You'd hear Roger Harper and Andrew Mason. How many times you used to get Roger Harper clashing with Mason, co-host Dr. Ford? It was a very, very tension thing every time Roger came on there. Roger faced the fire. Desmond Haynes has never. I don't know how the West Indies board continue with this nonsense that with Desmond Haynes does not go before the press, because those foolish press conferences West Indies board is all you cannot get him to follow up and really drill down in the press conference. Quick time the moderator can say, oh, blah, 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 we can't, blah, 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 you know.
But yeah. But coming back to the McCoy thing, let me say this. When you're picking a team, you first start by the strategy you're going to use and what's good for the team. You've got 4 or 5 fast bowlers, all right-handers. Strategically, if you use your left-hander, that variety alone could make a big difference in your bowling attack. You said one-dimensional, two-dimensional, three-dimensional. I mean, Holder has not been doing much lately, really, to be honest, in terms of T20 and one days.
No, Patrick, I don't think that's a fair statement to use.
Well,
here's why I'm saying this. Holder was selected in the squad, so he was selected. Now you replace him from the squad. You can't say he hasn't been doing anything. They picked him in the squad. They picked him for certain roles. Now my angst is illuminate to us, the public, what were the roles, because Desi and Sammy, them always like run them out, including
despite this,
the director of cricket too, because he was questioned. I remember Philo Wallace on the Andrew Mason show questioning him about the efficacy of 2 selectors, right? And he also said, well, now these days when we pick players based on roles, so we don't need to get so the experiment, right? Now, when you say that, when you replace Holder, tell us, the public, what was Holder's role in the team, and now how is McCoy going to fill the role, so we don't got to get into all of this machination.
Yeah, but forget about the selectors. Someone who knows cricket, as a left-hander in your squad, bowling to 90% right-handers. That alone should tell you need that. You have the same right-arm quicks coming down at you all the time. Every team in this World Cup here, most of them have a lefty, and it's for a reason. It's for a reason.
No, I don't agree with that, Patrick.
Well,
the reason
it is for a reason.
The reason they have a lefty is because they have good left-hand bowlers.
So are you saying McCoy is not a good? Are you saying McCoy is not a good lefty? Are you saying McCoy's not a good lefty?
No. I reject the argument. I reject it outright.
So you said a left-hand is not. That's not good strategy.
No.
To have variety in bowling.
Well, here If it was good strategy, why they haven't played him in the first 11?
But that's them. That's their problem. He should be playing all versions of the game. I'm
No,
serious. You
no,
laugh.
no. That is why I'm saying to you.
Yes, I agree with you. I agree with you, Patrick.
He should be playing all. The man is a bowler,
Well,
especially a bowler. He should be
no,
playing.
no. What I am saying to you now is that it's obvious your narrative about having this lefty as a variety
Of
is
course.
obviously not the reason why they picked him.
But
Butcher, I have a
I'm
question
not,
for you,
I'm not
Butcher.
talking about what they do, you know, because
Patrick,
half
is that
things
the
they do I
reason,
don't agree
Patrick?
with. I'm talking about
Patrick, is that the reason?
Patrick, hold a minute. Patrick, hold a minute. Butcher, hold a minute. Hold a minute, please. Hold a minute, please. The caller wanted to follow up with a
All right,
question.
go ahead, caller.
A
Go ahead,
question to
caller.
Butcher. So the caller, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, if Holder was fit, who would you have left out of this 11? Who would you have left out?
Shepard could have very well be sitting down.
You think that would have been a better bet than Shepard?
No.
Because I don't think so. Because
What? Check the team. Holder and Shepard. They would have picked Holder to play in front of Shepard.
That satisfy you?
If you look,
I wasn't in agreement with that, but I guess that would have happened because I think Jason Holder have been really getting a free ride for a while, to be honest with you.
But what has
You know,
Shepard
and when
done?
you listen to the Barbadian show, all they telling you about experience and experience. We keep hearing experience, but if you experience and you're not performing, what difference it make? If you notice a couple times that West Indies went on tour without these so-called experienced players in Bangladesh and in Australia, they came home victors. And when they go with the experienced players, they come home defeated and embarrassed. So I'm kind of tired of all this experience that they be talking about.
No, well, here.
But Holder gets a lot of preferential treatment.
Well,
a lot of preferential treatment to go play IPL.
All the Bajan players.
Here, I can tell you this. I've never been a Holder. I've never been a Holder fan. I be frank. I thought one of the most egregious decisions West Indies cricket made was making Holder captain of the West Indies team. I maintained that when he was appointed, and I still maintain that position. I think that was one of the worst cricketing decisions West Indies Cricket Board has ever made in their history. And they've made a lot of bad ones, and that was one of them. That, in my opinion, set West Indies cricket back. Right?
Yeah, I just think though, Butch, I think he fell off in the last few years, really. I
don't doubt that. Because
he fell off quite a bit, and then you got a lefty. Right. You could add variety to your bowling. You gotta capitalize on that. That's strategy.
Patrick.
Yeah.
Patrick, stop talking them partial, okay?
What is that, Alex?
It's Jason.
Patrick not partial with anybody from Ghana, anybody from Simmons.
I'm not saying he is. Alex, relax. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying when it comes to strategy, that's the first thing you think about.
No. For instance, every team in the World Cup 2020 World Cup, which Bazo you know, have a right time leg spinner, except West Indies. Dave Walters now in England playing for Warwickshire in the 2020 Blast.
So that's a West Indies. That's a
so then you can't see why West Indies. That's why West Indies didn't stick a right spin, leg spin, go bowler.
Yeah, well, that's a West Indies. That's a selection problem, though. But that's a selection strategy.
No.
No, it's not. Haynes and Sammy pick who they want to pick. We can't stop them.
I have another caller. Let me just get in this caller here. He's gone. Let me ask you a question, Basil.
Yes.
What is your opinion of Puran?
Puran, let me tell you this. I'm going to start like this.
Before you answer him, let me just take the caller, and then you could hold my question back.
Yeah,
go ahead, caller.
Yes, good night, guys. On that issue with McCoy, right? My take on this is that, Holder getting injured was just an opportunity. These guys realized that they made a mistake. And, they couldn't find a place for McCoy. And it's not a like-for-like replacement, but I believe he was just next in line in terms of bowlers, and they just took that opportunity, grab it with two hands because Holder got injured. I believe that's just the case with that, because he is somebody who would fit in the team, but it's a matter of just getting that person getting him in the team.
That's a fair comment. That's a fair comment.
So they made up for their mistake.
It's the same. It's the same. It's the same. You could say they pick Hetmeyer. They roll the dice with Hetmeyer instead of picking Mears. I was picking Mears every day of the week. I didn't have Hetmeyer in my squad.
Okay, so here's the deal with that, Basil. This is why I say
I agree with you with that. I agree with you that.
Right. So caller, listen to this. Hetmeyer, Mays. If Hetmeyer fails with the bats, that's all he could produce. He's done. Mays fails with the bat, Mays can bowl. So strategically, he should have been in the team before Hetmeyer, especially since Hetmeyer has not been producing.
Correct.
Patrick, I would never pick Johnson Charles. Why are you picking Johnson Charles?
Well, I'm not talking about Johnson
Charles.
Why
are you picking Johnson Charles?
Okay. The selectors make all kinds of mistakes.
I
have no problem with the side. But just those two issues in terms of strategy. Hetmeyer's been failing and he's only a batter. Myers can bat and bowl. Doesn't have to take wickets, but it's economical.
Myers,
that helps.
Myers is that of late. Myers has not been really producing that much.
Well, I would take a chance in Myers because of what he can do. He can do more.
Hold on one at a time. Yeah. You want to respond? Go ahead, Butcher.
I went and I checked something with Myers. And every time, and I lowered the bar very low to just making double figures. And every time Myers made double figures, by the time he was out, every time he made double figures, West Indies had a flying start. Even if he got out in the second over, West Indies would be like 19 runs without for the 1 wicket, 17 for 1 wicket. Every single time he got us a flying start. That is an asset. That is a serious asset. But people look, he only make 10, he make 17, he make 20. But put it in the context for the time that he spent, because T20 cricket, a lot of times innings are cameos. They're not like Test cricket or even one day ODI. A lot of times those cameos, you put a team on the back foot right away. Boom! You out the blocks. You got 20 runs without, and the second over, a guy get out. But you still got 20 runs on the board. You are
400 strike rate. 400 strike rate.
And and you still got 4 more overs in the power play to go, and you are already at 20. So you have already put pressure on the fielding team. And I think Myers, more than any one of our batters, does that more better at the opening spot.
In the power play, yeah. But and you also have to consider the person's form at the time too, So I would have picked him.
And I think unfortunate for Myers, because he was in and out of the 11, and then he goes to the IPL and never gets off of the bench. That he could show that I'm showing some form and blah blah blah. That they would have had to pick him.
But you see, despite that, right? Despite that, if you know what a player can do for your team, you still give him the benefit of the doubt.
And that's what they did for Hetmeyer. They gave Hetmeyer the benefit of the doubt, and they didn't give Myers the benefit of the doubt.
You know the other thing about Hetmeyer that galls me is his attitude towards West Indies cricket. That has to play a role in when you select 10 players.
Well, I think, Patrick, I think that is the reason why he's not performing. Because when you show me your attitude, I show you your altitude.
Exactly.
And no matter how good you are in any discipline of life, when you develop a bad attitude, it affects your performance in any discipline. Mm-hmm. But I want to come back to Puran.
All right, Puran, I'll start off by saying, from just a batting, he's probably the most talented in terms of playing strokes. I'm talking about strokes, right? of all the West Indian batters in the team right now. He's probably the most talented. And I can stop right there in terms of that. Puran has not come close to understanding the skill of inning construction, regardless if you're playing T20 or ODI or what have you. His inning construction is a very glaring weakness in his game. He does not look. You can't tell me David Miller is no less explosive than Puran. But you watch that inning David Miller play yesterday or day before yesterday. And David Miller has been playing those type of innings in the last few years for South Africa. He has become, in their white ball team, Mr. Clutch. When you get in problem, and David Miller is known as one of the more explosive batters in the world. We want Puran to be able to develop that skill.
He cannot construct. And I told Alex, I said, Alex, I'm gonna ask Butcher when he comes on tonight about Puran, because I had the same statement. Why is he missing so much balls? He's not constructing his innings. He just want to go. But you have to choose when you go and when you stop.
Exactly. That's an area, because that's a glaring problem for him, because Puran has a very limited first class background. Puran is not, to use my father used to use the term, he has not been through the drill. He is whereas you will look and see a guy like David Miller. David Miller play over 60-something first class matches. You go through even the youngster Tristan Stubbs got first class cricket behind his name. So these guys, in those situations that you're gonna put up in a first class match, that you gotta negotiate your way, as we would say, using the gambler term. You gotta know when to hold and then when to hold. You know, and our batters, that is a glaring weakness in our West Indian batters.
But the instruction that Puran get from the dressing room is to just go and hit the ball. If you're out, you get through that. Exactly. It seems like that's the plan.
No, but that couldn't be that. I don't think no coach I know will tell a player that though. I don't think so.
But if we look at how he played, like that is the intention. You go and you get. Even the IPL is the same way he do. Same thing he does.
Yeah.
He go and he hit the ball. If not, he go back in the pavilion and sit down.
Greg, hold a minute. I got a comment from the caller on WhatsApp. Caller, you were saying something?
Yeah, the IPL is what programmed these guys to bat like that. Remember, the IPL and India cricket don't have no interest in developing other players. They're all about themselves. So when they have a Puran, who is a natural batsman, and they send him as a closure, same like Hetmaya. They go in the face 20 balls, they score 40 runs. That's it for them. They have nothing to do with batsmanship. And that's what affecting batsmen like Hetmaya and Puran and all those guys, and Rutherford, all those guys.
That's a very good point.
And they bring it right into West Indies cricket. They cannot.
But how the Indians players making the adjustment call? The Indian playing in the same IPL, but they making the adjustment representing the country.
But the Indian players have played got a first class background.
Yeah, exactly. They're probably 5 or 6 times amongst the games that all players play.
They have all. Remember, apart from IPL, they also have their T20 league that they play in India. That they play, and then they play the competition, the Ranji Cup. So they have a lot of cricket behind them. Unlike only go around playing T20 all over the place, and all their thing is to do is to go out and hit 15 and 20 balls. That's it.
And you know something? I just
if you notice with them, Brazil, when them guys come in, they don't perform for West Indies as they do for those teams.
I agree.
Check the record, and you will see the record when they perform for West Indies. It's very minute.
Look,
and you can take it from Russell to Pollard to Bravo, all of those guys.
Hetmaya is a perfect example.
Just now.
Hetmaya is a superstar in India, and he has a mediocre international T20 record.
But you see, that's the thing. West Indies selectors need to identify those things and go from there. It's what's best for us.
And talking about the guy Tristan Stubbs, the youngster from South Africa, I just looked up his record. 18 first class matches and got 5 first class hundreds,
100.
including a triple century,
Yeah.
with a 50 average in first class cricket. So when we see him hitting balls all over the place in the IPL, we know he has a grounding to bat long, because when you make a triple century, I don't care if it's bumper ball cricket, you have to bat long, right?
And have resolve.
Yes.
You have to have resolve. The thing is, I want to ask a question again, Basil,
Yes.
about Russell.
Mm-hmm.
I've said to Gunny, and Gunny, and Alex was on the phone. Gunny came up by me, and we sat there and we talked. We were on the phone with Alex for the whole match. Sit
Looking
down
at the
and
game,
watching the cricket. Yeah. And I said to them, I don't know why they don't bring Russell earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Russell will do better coming earlier, because Russell himself can be a disciplined person.
You see, I have serious reservations about Russell batting high up. As I've heard some guys posit opening with Russell, and
Not
why I
opening, not opening, not opening, but earlier.
right. I here why I struggle with Russell got a technique that Russell likes to stand inside of the crease, right? Because he comes
Like
in,
Gale, like Gale.
he comes in at a period of time where, you know, Yorkers is a devastating ball. So
Mhm.
to neutralize the Yorker by going in the crease, he could turn them into low full tosses. Now, is that gonna work? Because Russell has put himself to be just a hitter. He has transformed himself to just being a hitter, not a batsman. So that's why I question whether Russell would be as valuable coming early in the inning. That's the reservation that I have, because
But,
there was a time Russell was a batsman, and he just say, you know what, I just coming in for X number overs, and I gonna cream the ball.
But that's why I tell you, I believe that he can make the adjustment. I think he
But
has the mentality to make the adjustment.
one of the issues, I would say this though, is that Russell, to spin bowling, good spin bowling, he is not that he's not strong. And if you
Mhm.
send him up early, you
Yeah.
talking about in the middle overs, that's when you're gonna reach up with the good spin bowling. And this is not the IPL. Every team got good spinners,
Mhm.
right? And that is where, to me, the benefit that Russell would bring to our batting unit will not be fully realized if you push him up the order than where you're just keeping him right now. That's my opinion.
I hear you. I hear you. I really wanted to hear your opinion on that.
Mm.
Go, Alex, what you got to say, man?
Mhm. That's why I have to Basil one question. I mean, White number what is making 173? Only 173 against Uganda. Only 173. Where
Mm-hmm.
are we really going?
Um, Look, I think people gotta have when you look at our batting lineup, we don't have a lot of batsmen in our batting lineup, right? We got a lot of hitters in our batting lineup, in my view, right? And the Uganda game illustrated that to me, in that the Ugandans were bowling the ball straight lines at the stumps. Our batters struggled when the ball was bowled straight on the stumps, right? Now, when you go back past generations, bowlers would tell you, when you bowl to good batters straight, that's when you're gonna get they're gonna damage you. They're gonna work you both sides of the wicket. You bowl straight at them, they're gonna work you. There's not a place you can think you're gonna get them out, right? Whereas our guys, that's how you could quiet them, because their skills as batsmen are not are limited So you bowl straight at them on the stumps, and you Ugandans did that, and the Ugandans, to their credit, stuck to their guns.
And bowl some excellent Yorkers
Or I mean,
consistently.
our
The best.
bowlers could take a page out of their books and
But,
learn to bowl Yorkers with that efficiency like they did.
but Basil, and my issue is, yes, with good batters, when you bowl them straight line and length, they could work you around the field.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're bowling not specifically to take wickets, but you have to be an economy bowler coming on the last 2 overs when you have a runner ball or maybe two 1.5 run for the balls that leave. Why do we want to still bowl short balls?
Well, there's sometimes there's a tactics. You know that there's one thing they say in the T20 about this whole variety thing. And I think there are times bowlers outthink themselves with the varieties. Today you saw an example of it. Harris Ralph is a guy that could bowl over 90 plus miles an hour. You're bowling on a wicket that got nice bunks and carry and so on. And the second ball of his first spell, he bowls a slow ball and is promptly hit for a boundary. Wasim Akram was on commentary and was exacerbated. Was like, you bowl so quick, you bowling on this wicket. Why are you bowling a slow ball? Right? Why are you bowling a slow ball? But because he's so programmed in his mind with these varieties, not looking at the situation, with his pace, if he bowls that length, that test match length on that pitch in New York, he can quiet the batters. He can quiet them. But then he bowled a slow ball.
Well, I think it's when he bowled the slow ball. You could throw the slow ball in there after you give him a good dose.
Yeah, but you don't throw the slow ball, the second ball,
exactly
ball.
Right. Because I saw. Did you see how the cock got out? The cock.
Slow ball is for spinners, man. Slow ball is not for fast bowlers. Slow ball is for spinners. Fast bowlers are supposed to bowl fast. That's my take.
Yeah, but again, when you give them a dose of fast, quick, pacey balls, and you throw slow one in there, you throw them off. That's how it works.
Yeah, you're slipping the slow ball when you don't put down Kuchu was a genuine pace, but now you pass over, you coming down and going to tell me bowling slow ball.
That's what I'm saying. At the wrong time. Wasn't the time for that. But Bush, back to the batting. So you do agree then that we shouldn't really be looking for too much strength and whooping, but look for men who could just simply bat. Good technique.
Yeah, and we gotta develop
regardless of the form of the game.
Yeah, we have to have batters.
Gotta have batters.
And say if you're building a T20 team, for example, because clearing the fences in limited overs cricket is an essential skill you have to have, because there are always times you have to clear the fences to make up a run rate or whatever the case may be, right? But we have to develop our batters' skills and cut down on these dot balls to be able to work the gaps.
Exactly.
So we become almost like you could say a bulletproof batting lineup where we could play both games. You bowling good, we still able to rotate the strike, get off strike, and getting off strike puts pressure on a bowling unit, because now they say, these guys scoring every ball, blah blah blah, and they might try something and they come in right where you want them to come.
Do you remember Sri Lanka team in the early 90s?
The World Cup winning team?
World Cup winning team? That's a team. That's all they did. Hardly any boundaries. They just moved the ball around.
Basil, tell me something. West Indies playing a T20 game and facing in 52 dot balls in 120 deliveries. They're in 52 dot balls.
53.
That's common.
No, let's be exact. 53.
53. Yeah. That got to be craziness.
Exactly, Alex.
Against Uganda.
Alex. The other point is this: where you asked about 173. Are our batters prepared to do the running before the Are they the fitness? Because you could see Johnson Charles at times they want to put in the extra yards because his fitness is questionable.
Yeah.
Right? Virat Kohli is a guy. Hold on 1 second.
You see,
but Alex, too. Go ahead, Dougie. Go ahead.
Yeah, you see, I maintain this, and that's the problem that I have when I look at our team. I am saying, why is it we're not working the ball, making sure we get a runner ball for those balls that are good
Dot
balls that we
ball.
can manipulate, instead of getting a dot ball out of these balls. We can just place them. We don't have to go and just beat the balls and you'll get high scores.
Back to the Shanda Paul and Carl Hooper era.
Yeah, and Canada did that well too, you know. Canada got a lot of singles. They worked the ball well.
Yeah.
Canadians, yeah. Yeah, they did.
You know who
a good batter will bat in any form of the game. Once you know to bat.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hold on, Graham. But you were saying something.
You know who was one of the better players in the game that did that in recent times? Ramdin from Trinidad.
From Trinidad.
He was a good guy rotating the strike.
Right.
When we had all the bashers in the team and he was playing, he was the one bright spot that could rotate the strike.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not blaming the coaches of this team and so on. I blaming the guys below, because this issue has been an issue for our batters for years, decades.
Yeah, but what's the point of the coach though?
No. I mean, here I'm saying to you, if you don't have those skills, right? You're not gonna improve it in a tournament, right? You will improve it when you go back home, right?
Yeah. So you gotta evaluate and then set a course for the guys.
The thing you gotta ask guys is, what are guys doing when they go back home?
Yeah.
That's where you work on hitting the gaps and all of those things. Look here, y'all remember, when was it? Not last year, year before last. You remember Phil Simmons, the coaching staff, had a camp in Antigua for players for these same specific skills we're talking about. Have we seen anything improved?
Nothing.
Sometimes I got a question West Indies board with what is it called? Return on investment. You get all these fancy camps, but yet we don't see the return on investment with the players' performances. So there have to be some kind of issue. You bring these players to the camps, but then what is the follow-up for them to come? Because you're not gonna master it at camp.
You have to practice it when you go on your own.
Exactly.
It's like a musician. It's like a musician come to play in a band, but he never practiced the song. When he come and rehearsing when he's supposed to be playing live.
Yeah, but the thing is, does our players after does they go back and look back at the video and see where they made a mistake and try to correct it? Because I seen so many batters making the same mistake over and over.
Well, all I would say to that, they have the information. Is now for you now to implement that, because with the analysts they get all the information. We have
a caller asking a question. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me say something here. If the West Indies board, right, have a contract for those players, the 15 players, you pay them a certain amount of money. They're on a contract. After a tour is finished, shouldn't those players be placed on an island where they Barbados, Trinidad, wherever? And every day go out like they're doing an 8-hour job. So they go to swimming in the morning, practice, doing the drills. That's their job 5 days a week because they're getting paid. Shouldn't a system be put in place for that? Yes.
Caller, go and see you. Caller, would answer you. What's the name? The
tell you,
players
Carlo.
doesn't have a contract. Only don't have a contract.
Alex,
Hold you have a
Alex
contract.
answer.
No, I'm
Hold you have a
talking
contract.
about those who
Back
are
hold you have a
contracted.
contract.
Those
A
who are
lot of people
contracted, I'm talking about.
a lot of people who are playing for the 2020 doesn't have a contract for the West Indies. They don't.
Well, that's true.
Right. I'm talking about those who are contracted, who are getting paid on a monthly basis. They're
Yeah,
supposed to go out and
well,
earn their money.
those players, one, when they go back home, they have things they're supposed to work on, whether it is skill wise and fitness wise that they're supposed to be doing.
And
Well,
attitude too.
No, it's important.
They should be
No, it's
together. Should
important.
be together as a unit.
No, it's important. And remember, in each franchise, each territory, you have franchises. So they could go and train with the franchise team and the
That's
franchise
different.
coaches.
Yep.
Right? So here, the key is this. A player has to want to be the best at what they do. And if that is not there within a player's makeup, the Tommy would say, we pissing in the wind. You know, because they're not going to put in the work that they're required to put in. Right?
I hear you, but I think if I'm paying you, you're supposed to work
No,
when I want.
I agree. Carlo, you're preaching to the choir. You're preaching. Let me tell you something, Carlo. I have had experience because I've known a few people who been coaching these franchises, you know, the regional franchises, where your guys are
Franchise like without Volcano and Babbies and so on.
Yes, and they train 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a guy telling me he take over a franchise and he come and he looking at the franchise, how they're doing the thing. Well, they're supposed to start training at 10 o'clock. Men strolling in about 9:45. And he said 10 o'clock, they're still in the dressing room thing, and then Marga they come outside and they run 2 laps around the field. That's they warm up. And then they go in the nets and bowl and so on. And he watched this thing and he tell them, he said, gentlemen, this got to stop. He said, when y'all arrive here at 10 o'clock, y'all ready for work. And practice is not just run up and bowling. There will always be a purpose. Every day you come to practice, you're coming here for specific working on XYZ. It's not run up and bowl or a warm up, run around 2 laps. And that is the problem with our franchise system. And that has to be built up. But beyond that, below the franchise system is where the rubber meets the road, in that our players are not exposed to professional high performance elite ways of training to get better from the club level. And that's where you should be getting your first exposures, club level, even in age group cricket, because our opponents around the world at about under 15, a kid in Australia is already looking at the analyst thing to see where they need to improve. When they do it, they could go back and review. They're doing that at under 15. Right? They're planning tactically at under 15 in those countries around the world. So when our youngsters go up and play in the under 19 tournament, we may be talented as their counterparts. But if you are more strategic in your planning and so on and so forth, you're going to have an advantage over your opponent who might be just as talented as you. And I got that from one player told me, who was on the 19 team. When they went to Sri Lanka, I asked the player, were the Sri Lankan team better than y'all in talent? He said, no, Mr. Butcher. But what they were the way they played the game, they approached the game in a manner. We didn't play the game in that manner. And that's because our youngsters are not exposed to all of the technology and the practice methods and so on and so forth to be high performing elite cricketers until they get to maybe the highest level of West Indies cricket.
So what's the status of this academy now? We just hired someone to run our academy.
Yeah,
correct?
well, we're going to see how that works out.
But that all that thing you're talking about should be happening in the academy when the kids come out of school in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Get them into the academy and you start.
But Patrick, there's one academy.
But it's something.
No,
It's
but that's
something.
saying that should be replicated in every territory.
Yeah, you could do that too. But if you have one, you can have different territories coming in at different times.
No, they do.
Okay.
Every year they pick a group of players for the summer to come to the academy.
Right.
Because actually, right now, if I'm not mistaken, Patrick, the team has left to go to Ireland to play against. Ireland came and played against them, and now they've gone back on a tour to Ireland.
Yeah, because that's where it starts. They have to be structured. They have to know what a practice session looks like from start to finish.
Yeah, because Patrick, gentlemen, I talk in these things is not just off the top of my head because I communicate and I help young players, particularly in Guyana, because that's where I know. And some of these young players have been gotten up to the West Indies level. And when I start talking to them about the methods and way in how they got to practice to be better, it's like the first time they're hearing it. And some of the young players have gone to camps upon camps at the West Indies in Antigua and have never heard nothing like what I said to them. And I said to them, what I'm telling you is not rocket science, because this is the way elite athletes across sports train.
Exactly.
I am just bringing it specific to you for cricket, but this template is used across sports, and I am surprised.
Let me give you an example. I had an exchange student in my house from either Martinique or God, but France really, but he was down there. He was around 12 years old. And so my son now, he probably same age as my son. And he was here in my house and so forth and whatnot. And his father calls him every day to bring him up to date about his theoretical thing because he played soccer. So he had an exercise he was doing, not physical, but an exercise that he was doing on his tablet or his computer, mapping moves and so forth. It's something that is drilled into his head from 12 years old, playing school football, but every day he had a moment with his father would contact him.
Yeah.
And they would sit there and then they would discuss what is doing.
Let me give you another example. Last year, yes. Last year on the 19 women's tournament in South Africa. I've told this story several times. A young Australian girl, she's a seamer. She's 15 years old. She was not going to be in the starting 11 for that match, but one of her teammates must have twisted the ankle in warm-up or something, and she got brought into 11. She went and she ended up, what's interesting, somebody grabbed opportunity with both hands. She ended up becoming the leading wicket taker for the World Cup for the Australian team, right? In that match, she took 3 wickets. And at the break in between innings, interviewing her. And what was interesting, the interviewer, I think the interviewer might have been South African or Australian, or one of the two. But for the interviewer, because I don't think somebody from the Caribbean would have asked that question. But the interviewer asked her what were her plans when she was gonna, to bowl to the players on the opposite team. And she said, I didn't have the plans because I was not part of the 11. So I was like way down. I wasn't expected to play. So I wasn't so intricate in the bowling plans working in the bowling plans for the team. But this is what she said. I have bowling plans from what I have learned, right? I have bowling plans. So I went to my bowling plans based on my skill set and my strengths and weaknesses and applied them in the given situation. Now you tell me if any West Indian, and I going all the way up to under 19, could answer a question in that manner. Right there, you could see the exposure to high performance elite preparation at that age that goes on elsewhere around the world for players that we don't have.
It's the culture of the game in certain countries, you know. That's what it is. Yeah.
You here, Patrick. Let me give Chris Darren always talk this story. The 2003 World Cup. You remember he was in South Africa because he was getting like shadowing because he was going to be in charge 2007 in the Caribbean. And the morning, they put the paper on his desk. The West Indies will be training at some high school in South Africa. So when he come in and he see high school, West Indies team with Lara and so on and so on, he got hopping mad because his lens, when he think high school, he thinking like school in the Caribbean, right?
Yeah.
He's running to Ali Bakr office. What disrespect you got for us? You gonna send West Indies team to high school to train? What nonsense is this? Ali Bakr said, you don't understand. So Ali Bakr said, look, I will have my driver take you to the high school. And he said when the car crossed into the high school compound, his heart sank. The school had 5 cricket fields, 3 of them fully lighted. And then when the guy took him to where the West Indies were, you see all these bowling machines lined up. They had the thing sensors, they could test you, sensors, you know, your bowling way, and all of those things. This is a high school, right? So when you see these things and you look at where we are, you start to realize preparation-wise for our players, we are way behind the 8 ball for our players. And we have to figure out ways to be creative that we could get similar information to our players from age group as soon ASAP.
Yeah.
Now listen me, guys. I have adjusted my computer. I have 3 minutes. 1 minute each person, but I will give the caller who is sitting on the line there if he has any more comments. Caller, have any comment quickly?
Yeah, as I was listening to Bacchus, the only thing I want to say, it's all about money. And that's why I blame the Caribbean governments. Because when IPL was going on, if the government of the Caribbean had come together and put up the money that those guys were being offered to play in IPL to say, play for us. And once our tournament finished, once the test match is finished, you could go and finish up your IPL contract. Back then, I think West Indies cricket would have been in a better shape had the Caribbean government have this foresight, especially when you look at Barbados, who benefited so much from tours that come from England. If test cricket has to die, Barbados and places like Antigua and them going to be the one to suffer. But that's my input there with that one.
Thank you very much.
That's good. It's a good solution. Good solution because IPL and those things, they'll destroy West Indies cricket. You know? So, yeah. Doggy, don't forget, let me just remind the folks, the name of the book we didn't finish talking about is The Black Pioneers. Black Pioneers of the North American Soccer League. And they can get it on Amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, or they can download it on their platform, Google Play or iTunes. It tells
What's
you
the name again? The name
Black
of the book
Pioneers,
again?
The Black Pioneers of the North American Soccer League. It's all about the black players' contribution to developing the game in North America.
Great. Anything you got to say?
Well, just got to say, a lot of information came out from Basil. And actually, just one thing I remember when West Indies under 19 went to England, there were some English players who had how many first-class game, and some of our players had never played a first-class match. So that brings a big difference. So we need to think. So, and Basil, thanks for them information, man.
Yeah, man. I bet here. I've been trying to, because I got trained in an elite athlete development system, and it
Yeah, good enough.
crosses any elite athlete, cricket, whatever sport. And I've been trying. I tried at the West Indies board. I sent them a presentation. Never heard back from them. So I will continue in my little ways. The young players that I get a chance to work with in Guyana or wherever else I go, I will try to work to instill those methods so they can apply them to their skill.
Okay, Roger.
Yeah, well, just to let you guys know, from last week carnival, I picked up another about 10 pounds of cork. We'll talk about the broken bottles again. And now it's raining, the grass is growing, so it is even more dangerous because the place I'm going to slide, and there's about 4 spots where there are particles still there that I could not have removed, which is dangerous to the players.
That's on the Calico playing field.
And on Saturday, I have to bring 2 guys from off the field, leaving my kids unattended, to come home to use the bathroom.
Wow.
Because the facilities are not good.
Wow.
And we're talking about
I got
developing
something I
youths.
want to post to you guys. I want to post to you guys. And I think, I don't know the West Indies board feel about this, but I think an opportunity was missed in this World Cup. West Indies should have played one of the games in New York.
Mm-hmm.
With the large Caribbean diaspora in New York, West Indies should have played one of the 4 games in New York. And I guarantee you, that game would have sell out too.
Yep.
Just like today.
Of course.
Just like today.
Yeah, I was at the Sri Lanka South Africa game. I took my son there. It was a good game. I went to it.
Good game.
Oh, yes.
I was there too.
And you talk about fitness. Every South African player looked fit.
Of course.
Not one. I didn't see a punch in any of them.
Nope.
All those fellas look fit. Even the fellas Stubbs feeling right under me.
Let me just bring your guy up to date. First half in Panama versus Montserrat game at 0-0.
And Honduras beat Bermuda 6-1.
And Patrick, South Africa still maintains their policy. We have shed ours. That you have to meet fitness standards for selection eligibility. They still maintain it.
Of course. All those guys were fit, man. All of them are fit. They look like a team.
Alex, what do you have to say to us?
Yes, I think ICC missed the ball, and they gave a lot of people some soft schedules, and teams like Sri Lanka, Netherlands, and Pakistan have to stay too far from the hotel, and everybody is complaining, and they're complaining big time. And ICC is listening to the complaints. I think it's unfair to certain teams. It's like Basil just said, was supposed to play a game in New York, but you can have Sri Lanka playing one game in New York, one game in Texas, one game in Florida, one game someplace else. People getting stuck in Florida, Miami all the time.
Mm-hmm.
People staying in Manhattan, people staying in Brooklyn.
But Alex, I couldn't understand why they have them staying in Brooklyn.
Yeah, that didn't make no sense.
I don't know. Everybody is complaining.
Yeah. So
you know something. The ICC, every time they've come into the United States, they fell on their faces. They don't know one thing about cricket in this country, but they like to play. They know about cricket in this country. And they don't come. And I'm going to tell you, the people who know most about cricket in this country is Caribbean people, not the South Asians.
But Butcher, that's my point. What's the rest in this board doing about coming in here and really trying to get control of things?
Well, here, I put out the challenge to Dr. Shallow the last time I was on the show with him. I said, Dr. Shallow, one of the beautiful things about this stadium in Eisenhower Park is that they will keep the field and the pitches. They're going to take down the stadium.
Right.
So the New York area will have a international field. So the West Indies could come and play games there.
Exactly.
Right? I said, you have the largest Caribbean population in the world in this tri-state area. And I can guarantee you, Dr. Shallow, it will be filled up. And he said to me, you could come back to the Caribbean and get the flavor. I said, Dr. Shalom, you never come to a game in New York with all the Caribbean people. It is as more Caribbean flavor than even probably in the Caribbean.
And you got to understand too, playing in New York helps, it grows the game here and grows it through us with our influence. And in the long run, it'll help the game here and the West Indies.
And most importantly, we turn up to the game paying in us. Us. We paying us. Not EC, our Bajan, our Guyana dollars. We pay in us. And look, think about this, Patrick. You would remember this. And Alex, obviously, too. When Roy Sweeney used to bring them teams up in Mount Vernon, this is like early 80s, mid 80s. $25 to go and see a cricket match then. You know what's $25 in the 80s to know?
That's $300 now. $350 now.
Right. So if we could have paid 25 to see in substandard conditions, right? I mean, it tells you how much we starve for cricket. Top class cricket playing in the New York area.
But I gotta go. But I was of the opinion that if we really wanted similar how we had the Asian games, that we should have a West Indies playing a game up there, which would have bring out the diversity and of the Caribbean diaspora, and it would have been really colorful because you would have all the different cultures of the Caribbean coming together under one banner.
I would say this in closing to you, ICC don't give a FUCK about the West Indies cricket. ICC don't view us in any manner, the Caribbean population, because this World Cup, Patrick, I don't live in New York anymore, but y'all could tell me, are there banners in the Caribbean community regarding the World Cup?
You can't blame the ICC for that, you know. You know who I blame for that? The West Indies board. ICC could find it, but it has to start with them.
Patrick,
It's got to start. Who would it start? You said the ICC don't know. But them fellas are right here. You got ex-players here. West Indies board should take that initiative.
No, but I agree. Both the West Indies board and ICC are to blame, because the ICC would make a poignant push towards the South Asian community,
of course,
but not towards the Caribbean. As if like the Caribbean people ain't got money too. We broke. We ain't got no money.
But the West Indies should be speaking for us. We are not at the board sitting down with ICC.
Well, that's true. The West Indies board has done a poor job.
And here's the deal. They need to remind ICC that there was a time when if West Indies wasn't there, there was no cricket. Remind them of that. If West Indies ain't playing, there was no cricket.
Anyway, I gotta leave it there, fellas. Gotta go. All right.
Good night, gentlemen. Good night.
See you again. Take care.
Do you have a passion for sport?